Sandra all the time is here with a cold heart true. She's the ears and the eyes for me and you. Every day, everyone want to hear from Sandra. And every time on the air, she's getting better. Tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your mama. Call Sandra in the morning and in the evening. They always calling Sandra. And when they start fighting, they calling Sandra.
That's right, folks. Everyone is telling their mama about the cold hard truth. Welcome to another episode with more truth-telling, more problem-solving, and of course, more tea spilling than ever before. Sit back, students, grab your tea and turn up the volume because class is now in session. Call in at 936-2626 because your voice matters. Share your opinion on issues that matter the most to you.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Well, hello.
Good morning. I don't know. My overhead light isn't turning on today. Let me try to turn it on through the computer. Sometimes the Stream Deck is a little bit weird.
You didn't pay your light bill.
I know. I didn't pay my Elgato key light bill. Mm-hmm. Now it wants to install an update. Like, really? Hold on. I need to turn up my volume. There we go.
I'm wearing a nice shirt.
There we go. Hello.
See my nice shirt?
Oh, yeah. You have a meeting today? You're looking good.
A couple meetings.
Okay, nice.
Couple meetings.
I was looking for my jacket. I was going to put on my jacket today. It's around here. What to do? Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Yes. Mm-hmm. I know. Is the week moving fast or slow? I can't decide.
I think the whole year is like moving fast, to be honest. Yeah, it moves quickly these days.
Well, generally, yes. But I feel like
and the older you get, the faster it moves, right?
It is kind of depressing.
When you were young, you're like, oh man, it took forever for like things like your birthday and Christmas to come around. And you were like, why is it taking so long? Remember when you asked your parents right after your birthday, you're like, is it my birthday again?
Mm.
And then
the only thing that went fast was like summer break.
Yes, the good stuff. For sure. Just getting my IG feed going here.
Yeah, what are we doing today? We're giving people a chance to win VIP tickets to Capella.
Oh yes.
And
you wait a minute, you got VIP tickets to give away? Yeah. I don't think the ones I'm giving away are VIP. I better string up somebody.
Well, we are a sponsor. I don't know if you're a sponsor or not.
No, I'm just kidding. No, but we're doing some giveaways as well.
And we're giving our listeners a chance to win a brand new car.
That's a lie.
True. It's absolutely true.
What?
Yeah.
For you?
Well, we have Rotary tickets to give out for the Audi Q3 for free.
Really?
All week.
Wow, that's nice.
Gotta step up. See, people got to tune into KISS, not Cameron Mile Road. This is where you get the prizes.
Oh my goodness! A chance to win a new car. Here we go. All right. I want a new car. Not really. I'll take an Audi.
Big news. I have some important news for you. Interesting news.
It's Blake and Aaron's Spilling the Tea with Sandy.
K-Man's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Hey, Sandy, good morning. Happy Thursday.
Good morning, Blake and Aaron. How you doing?
We are good.
Awesome.
Good.
So, lots
for a good
going
story.
on.
I
Yes,
know.
we had a police press conference yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Their annual submission of the statistics, the crime stats. So it was interesting. More or less, not much changed in terms of the numbers. Like some things went down a little bit, some things went up a little bit, but pretty steady, I must say. They did mention, however, that in the past 16 years, they really haven't grown much in terms of their number of officers. Like overall, it's only like 10 police officers added. But what has happened is that they have added other divisions and departments and admin staff. And, so in terms of policing, basically, they said that they could do with more staff. So that was kind of interesting. Because I think, like I said, we always see these recruitment drives where they have a lot of people that they're recruiting, but as it turns out, there's always people leaving and they're trying to fill, tiring and whatever. They're trying to fill those spots. But in terms of adding to the force, it's not as much as people think.
Mm.
So
And is there a budget for it?
well, they wouldn't say what the budget is, which is kind of interesting because, of course, that question did come up, like, what's the budget? And they wouldn't say. The commissioner said he has a number in mind, but he doesn't want to say. And we were like, why not? Because, I mean, obviously, he doesn't control the budget, right?
That's public. That's public, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it would be, of course, if they got it. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's more, maybe it was just politics. Like he didn't want the MPs or the ministers to feel like he's like pressuring them for a specific amount. They have that discussion behind closed doors. But like you said, it's the public purse.
Well, you could always do an FOI request on it, couldn't you?
Well, he said he has it in his head. So I'm not sure if it's anything that they've actually written down that you can FOI. But, just tell the people. We would like to know. All right. Moving on. A chef has been sentenced to 29 months for indecent assault. People might remember this case. This was the guy who was sitting on the bus and touching women. Yep, 4 counts, including a 15-year-old girl on public buses, 3 separate occasions. He was only found guilty on 1 count and acquitted on the other 3, which is pretty wild. He admitted to touching one of the women, but said that she was flirting with him. Wow. Anywho, he now will go to jail and hopefully be deported from this island shortly thereafter and no longer be a chef. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's it doesn't even matter your intent. Any unwelcomed behavior, touching or otherwise, could be considered a crime.
This is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, that people think they can do this sort of thing. Yeah. Okay.
Especially an underage person.
Right? But anybody. I mean, it's just saying, in a public space, you can just touch people and you don't even know them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about this regional story that's caught a lot of attention? A U.S. man who was caught with ammunition and TCI could be facing up to 12 years in prison.
I saw that. That's actually all over the news now. I saw it this morning getting ready for to come into work. It was on the Today Show. And this guy and his wife went to Turks and Caicos to celebrate his 40th birthday with some other friends. When they got to the airport, they went through his bag and they found some bullets that he said he had used on a previous hunting trip. And there's a new law there that says you could be sentenced up to 12 years in prison, locked up abroad. And so they had 2 kids at home. They finally let the wife go home. They dropped charges against her, but he's still there. And he's awaiting arraignment, I believe, to see what actually, or a trial, or see what's going to happen. But this morning on the Today Show, they talked about 2 other men from the U.S. One guy has been there since February. Same thing, had bullets in his bag. He's awaiting trial. He's still there. They won't let him leave. And a guy before that had the same thing, bullets in his bag, and he got 8 months in jail there.
Yeah. You know what? Good. TCI seems to be sending a very strong message. We're going to be talking about it this morning.
Yeah, but didn't we just have somebody that came in, same story?
They got fined.
They got fined and then sent home, right?
Yep. Sent home. Yep.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me of when remember that medical student was here and she disobeyed the COVID rules, where she flew in.
Yes,
and,
Skylar.
and she was supposed to be in quarantine, and she went out to the
jet ski event
jet ski thing
with the
with her
boyfriend.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then
Skylar.
she ended up all over the Today Show or
Mhm.
whatever it was, and then she got sent off island. But yeah, I mean, you can't go to other countries and expect the rules don't apply.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll definitely be discussing that one this morning for
But
sure.
I hope the guy doesn't get 12 years in prison. And he just got 2 little kids, and it seems a bit extreme, but certainly,
You only need to do it one time, and then everybody gets the message.
Well-
I'm not saying 12 years, but
yeah.
send him to jail as a warning to everybody, and they'll adjust their attitude. I mean, listen, you don't go to countries like Singapore and think that you can just do whatever you want. Everybody knows that Singapore is a very strict country in
Can't even
terms
chew
of
gum
the
there.
laws. And you adjust your attitude, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you can't even chew gum there. It's a
No,
law.
know,
So
it is. It is what it is.
because they don't like gum ending up on sidewalks. I think it's genius.
Mhm.
Use a breath mint. Anyway,
All right, we'll definitely be doing a deep dive into that story. And finally, the police also recorded an average of 61 accidents per week in 2023. We're talking about motor vehicle accidents. And they seem to be at a loss on what to do. They're like, you guys just need to learn to drive better. We've got our traffic division out there. We're ticketing people. We're doing the most that we can do. But honestly, the number of accidents on our roadways is just shocking and unbelievable. They're like, people need to just, stay off their phones, to drive with a little bit of caution, common sense. It would be amazing not to have so many accidents on our roadways every single day.
it's all 2 knuckleheads racing in the middle of the day yesterday down Esperly Tibbetts.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, just weaving in and out of traffic. And
Mm.
tell you what, they ought to set up. I know they set up sometimes at Lakeside.
Mm-hmm.
But the cops should set up on the other side of the roundabout near the new Health City hospital, between that roundabout and the Camana Bay roundabout, because that's like a drag strip.
Just deploy some cameras that can catch them and start sending them to jail for that too.
I agree. If you don't have the budget for more cops, put up
use technology to your advantage.
And then it's 24/7.
That's right.
That's the only way to slow people down 24/7. Thank you, Sandy.
All right. Thank you too. Have a good one.
Stick around here on Kiss FM because we got a chance for you to win a free car and some VIP tickets to Capella. Sandy does.
We don't have a free car around here. Bye bye. I'm actually looking for the message. Speaking of winners, the lady yesterday, she's close. Yeah, the lady yesterday, who had won last week. I need her to, I didn't see where she messaged me, so I don't know if I missed the message. Okay, 10:30. Okay. All right. So yes, WhatsApp me. I know I said yesterday to WhatsApp me, but I don't see the WhatsApp message. It doesn't mean that you didn't send it, because believe me, I get so many messages every single day. So please message me. Yeah. All right. So we got quite a bit to talk about this morning. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to all of our Instagram folks over here. Got them up on the screen. Let me send out the links to everyone. Sorry, give me one quick second. I'm going to do that now before I start getting messages about, are you live this morning? And I'm like, yes, we are. Hold on one second here. Copy and paste. Copy. And then we have our broadcast list. And just FYI, it's not a group, it's a broadcast list. So what that means is there are hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds. There's actually 3 separate lists because there's a limit to the size of broadcast lists. So we've got hundreds of people, and you don't see who else is on the list, and there's no communication between people, because some of these groups, oh my God, they're so annoying because they talk about everything under the sun and people go off on tangents, and you don't always have time for that. So a broadcast list, the benefit of that is it's one directional, right? So I send out all of the news links, tips, whatever, Like if there's some police activity in an area that you need to stay out of, a hotspot or whatever, we send that out to everyone. All of the website stories, social media posts, we send those out on WhatsApp. And if you reply to me, or if you reply to the message, it only comes to me. So it's complete privacy. It's not like these groups, or when you reply, everybody sees it and everybody up in their feelings because somebody said this and somebody said that. And I find that honestly, it's so much of a more efficient way of communicating with large groups of people via WhatsApp. And you really eliminate the back and forth and the group arguments and hurting people's feelings. And, oh, you were removed from the group because you said something that Sherry Ann didn't like. And I heard she removed someone the other day because they had shared with me how she was like, don't share anything from CMR because she's never accurate. I said, it's so funny when people get in their feelings, because not that long ago, she was sharing every single one of my posts. If I posted that somebody in East End farted, she was sharing it. So it's now just because we called out her petty pedo style son, which we should call him out just like everybody else, that she's all up in her feelings. The phone line, only 19%. Oh gosh, I gotta charge the phone. So yeah, I don't really, you guys know me already. I don't curry favor with people. And I want to be very, very clear about that. Because it is what it is. But when it comes to this topic, I don't need friends, and I don't really care who likes it and who doesn't like it. That's not really my concern. We have to do everything we can in our power to protect our children. And that's just how I see it. It's very black and white for me. There's no gray area when it comes to protecting children. Right? So I'm sure I hurt some of y'all feelings. I'm sure of it, because you got the uncle who's a pedophile, who's molested every generation of kids. And I don't care. If he comes on my radar with good substantiated evidence of what it is that he's doing, then it is what it is. Tell him to stop molesting people's children. And then y'all not got nothing to worry about. So when family members get upset with me about those types of things, you can rest assured that I simply don't care. It's not a worry in this world. Okay, honey child, you'd be better off getting upset with me about something else, because that ain't gonna be it. That is not, I'm trying to see how I can charge the phone a little bit quicker. That is not what is gonna cause me to lose any sleep at night. In fact, I sleep better when I know that y'all under your P's and Q's, because you're like, oh my gosh, if I touch somebody's child, Sandy, you're going to be on top of it. Good. Yeah. Don't touch somebody's child. That's what y'all need to do. Hold on one quick second. Let me grab something real quick. There's something I wanted to remind you guys of that I almost forgot. Hold on, honey child. All right. Welcome back. Okay. So, remember last week we were talking about, I think it was last week. Pretty sure it was last week. We were talking about earlier in the week. We are talking about how, and by the way, good morning to everyone. I see all the usual suspects are here. Stephanie, Shaka Zulu, and everybody else. We're talking about these people who like to come soliciting at your door. Now, I kind of chuckled because you guys will remember that I answered the Ring doorbell at another location, that had some visitors. And, sometimes visitors are trying to be polite. They're visiting here in the Cayman Islands. They don't know how to respond to certain things. So they're just like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not really interested. Or they will sit there and politely try to listen to you, but they really aren't interested. And so I jumped in on the Ring doorbell and I said, I'm sorry, miss. He's really not interested in hearing about the Bible right now, or whatever version of the Bible you have. Oh, well, he didn't say no. And I said, sometimes you got to learn to read people's body language, honey child. His body language was saying no, no, and no. times 50. But, you know, they just weren't picking up on it. So I thought, let me assist him. And yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, then we had a good joke because somebody sent me that doormat that said, like, we don't want any of what you're selling kind of thing. And so, as you guys might remember, we actually on Amazon having a little peep at some of the signs that you can get to basically tell people no soliciting. So the funny thing is, I want to share this with you guys. I decided to order some signs. Somebody said Sherry Ann is pure mix-up. Yeah, child, we know. So I have some signage. Remember I told you guys I was going to order some doormats and stuff. And I know some of you wanted some. So the doormats have been delivered in Miami. I'm going to decide, why is it so warm in here? No, sir. Hold on. I know I adjusted this AC down to 75. So it can't be. Oh, I feel it coming on now. Jeez, I'm peace. Whew. Is it like that much? Oh man, summer is here. This thing claims that it's at 75. That is so not true. This is not 75. I'm going to dip it down to 74. Whew, feels warm. Oh my gosh, y'all are probably like Sandy's having hot flashes and don't even know it. No, it really is really warm. Oh my goodness, y'all see me over here sweating? I don't like to sweat if I'm not exercising. Believe me, you. I'm like, give me the air conditioning. Yes, I'm going to pay that CUC bill. I don't care. Oh, honey, chow. Oh my God. Anyway, I see that somebody says that's age, baby. Woo, honey, chow. I see that the mats were delivered yesterday. And so I only got a couple mats because I know y'all be like, oh, Sandy, I want one. And you don't want one. Y'all just be, as them old people say, you got big eyes. But I did order some other signs. So I want to share with you guys some of the other stuff that I ordered. Okay. So hold on here now, honey jail. All right. So we have, wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, Kevin said he's going to fix my window for me. All right. Yeah, I think the overlay is a little bit too big. I don't think there's much you can do with a single overlay, but anyway, I could squat like this. Get in a squat all day if I sat in this position. Lord, my poor legs. So anyway, I got some signage. Let me show you guys the signs that I have because I have a couple of these that we can give away. All right, so I have this one, and I've already put these up for myself. So I have this one. This is pretty good. Can you guys see this one? Absolutely no soliciting. Do not ring the doorbell, ring bell, or knock. And they have a little man there with a sign through him. No politics, no religion, no charity, no fundraising, no salesman, no estimates, no excuses, no exceptions. Love it. So this one isn't really that big, and it's like the metal one, so it'll stand the test of time. So there's this one. So we have a couple of these that we'll give away this morning. And then we have some smaller ones. These are actually made of wood. And then they've got the little tape on the back so you can tape these. But then there is this one. So basically, it says the same thing. It's just a smaller size. It's a little bit thicker because it's like a wood material. So we got a couple of these. So if you want that one. And then you've got the really, really discreet option for those of you who like have ring doorbells and stuff. You have just a little sticker that says no soliciting. So I can give you some stickers too. So I've already put these stickers up. I need to do one on my front door that says no soliciting. Yeah. So they have like two design, one that says no soliciting. Thank you. And then one that says, oh, which overlay is that? Oh, I hear you, Kevin. Mess with you. And then there is just the one that says no soliciting without the thank you. I'll use the thank you one. So this one's a little bit like bold. I don't know if you guys can see. Bold. Yeah. All right. So we'll give away some of those this mañana. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else I need to tell you all about? Oh yes. Let me share another little find with you guys. So a lot of us have homes. Some of us have homes that you've switched out the wall plates so that the wall plates have like you can plug in your devices into the wall plates. You guys know, you can plug in your smart USB-C, USB-A, whatever. But if you don't have the wall plates, because you can actually have those replaced, you can get your electrician to come and take the plate off and put on like a smart plate, and they normally give you like two little charging ports directly into the wall. If you don't have that option, the alternative, I feel like this is a feature Amazon day. The alternative, folks, is that you can purchase the plugs that you just plug into the wall plate that then converts everything for you. So we do a combination of that because I think the GF, what's it called? I'm trying to look at that wall plate. GF whatever, the plates that you can reset, GF something. I'm not an electrician, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Maybe. That you can reset, and you need to have so many of those like in different locations in your home. They can't be converted, as far as I know, to the smart plates, right? But most other ones are up for grabs. So what you do is it comes with this little screw in the middle, but you can get these. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit because I want to show you. Hold on, let me find my little zoom capability here. Where's my little thing? Okay, can I zoom in? Why is it that when I want to zoom in, I totally can't? View and gimbal, AI mode, tracking mode. Where's the zoom feature? This thing actually does have no. Oh my gosh, no. That's not it. Whoa. Normal tracking close up. Can we do a close up? That's sort of what I want. Okay. That'll do. I should figure out, oh no, now it's moving too much. All right, hold on. I think I gotta, tracking mode, slow, standard, fast. How do I zoom in? I know that one hand gesture will allow me to do it. Is it this one? I can't even remember. Oh my God, technology. Anyway, there is a way. Let me see. Image, console, remote control. Where's the remote control? I activated it, but where is it? Anywho, I bet there's a hotkey to zoom in as well. Upper body, will that do it? Nope. Close up. This is close we're gonna get. All right. So look at this. So this has several plugs, right? So you've got your standard like 3 plug, we can plug in. Then it has 2 USB A, which is the older, bigger USB ports. And then everybody knows that USB-C, this is kind of like the newer ones that, the new iPhone is USB-C. Samsung devices have been USB-C for years. So you have like 2 of those. You can plug in like 2 USB-C devices, 2 USB-A devices. There you go. There. Yeah. Okay. All right, honey child, that's good. All of a sudden it's totally zooming in. So there it is. It's like I think it's trying to track. Yeah. Okay, whatever. So these are pretty cool. Anyway, get yourself some of these, folks. These are very, very handy. And you can use these in your homes. Let me turn off the close-up thing. All right. So you can use these like in your homes and stuff as well. They come in very, very handy. All right, honey child. That's a nice little find. You plug these in around the place. Be careful with your plugs though, because that's electricity, honey child. Good. Anything else we need to talk about? So I just had to grab another charging cable. These are good too. I don't know if you guys have seen these. I've used these for years. I need to start using now the USB-C ones because all of the newer cars don't have USB-A anymore. They're all USB-C. So I can't even use these in our cars anymore, but they're still useful like around the place as they start to phase out USB-A a little bit. So these are the cables. This one is actually a 2-pack. This is 4 feet. I think they might come in like even 6 feet. But this 2-pack now allows you to charge multiple devices at the same time. These are super cool. You know, instead of having 50 million cables, you've got one cable. And then on the end, it's 4 different types of devices. So this one has one USB-C, 2 lightning cables, because, you know, that was the thing. Now that iPhone is phasing those out. And then one, I always forget what this one is. This is like for certain older devices, like my MiFi device still uses this one. I can't remember does anybody remember what that little what that one is? It's like it's a little flat, like on one side. Anyway, there are some devices that still kind of use this charging port as well. So I love to travel with these because they're super easy when you travel. You can charge multiple devices at the same time. So even if I have my portable power brick, I plug it on this side to draw power like in the airport and whatever, or the little airport plugs. And then I can charge up to 4 different things at the same time. Very, very handy, honey Jill. Trust me. This is consolidation at its best. So if you want any information, any of these products, you know, link me. I'll send you the link on these. But yes, I've been phasing these out actually because I have them all over the place, like every room and whatever. But I'm now getting the part that you plug in to then charge everything else. I'm starting to get the ones that are now USB-C. But anywho, super handy. You know, oh my God, when you have electronic devices all over the place, I always find like I have charging cables like this. Half the time, I don't even know what the cable's for. I'm like, oh, what's this one for again? So a good thing to do is to actually label your cables. So you can get label, what do you call it? Like, you can use a label machine and you could just do it there and then just, you know, tie it around it. And then they do have actual cable labelers and stuff as well, if you want to do something a bit more organized. Because it's hard to remember, oh, what's this for? Like I have a whole box, like a whole bin full of cables. And honestly, if I don't put them in a bag and label it and whatever, I have no clue what those cables are for. And some cables are interchangeable and then some cables are just not. So you got to know with cable management, it can be really frustrating because this cable I actually had to order because this is for a microphone. And I know that it came with this cable, like when I originally bought it. And then now that I have the USB-C phone, I couldn't find the cable. So I had to contact the company and they were like, because especially with audio, not all cables are going to work the same, right? So they knew what cable would work with their microphone. So they sent me this specific link. They're like, order this one and that will work fine. So I was like, okay. Source of frustration in my life is audio. I have so many microphones and it's still a ongoing process of trying to find out, especially with mobile recording and mobile live streams, what's going to work. So Sexy says, can Canadians win that car as well? I guess if you're on island, doesn't matter. You buy a ticket and you can win. Yeah, I think Erin must be on vacation or something. Seems like she's taking some time off this week. The two of them have to, obviously they have a duo. So they you know, take time. One goes on holiday while the other one holds down the fort. Ooh, honey child. All righty then. Let's see here. So we're going to talk about this gun situation here in a second because I think it's very, very interesting. This story has blown up. You know, Americans, y'all need to do better. I hate to tell you, but the rest of the world is not America. And y'all just, you know, y'all just need to do better. So we'll talk about that. Alejandro talking about the speed cameras. We'll talk in a minute here. Hilda, which WhatsApp? Message me right now on WhatsApp. because I didn't see the message. It didn't process. So message me right now. Right now. Don't wait till after the show. Message me right now, and then I can ping. The one thing I wish that WhatsApp would do is allow you to ping more than 3 conversations. You know, you can do like 3 conversations. You can ping it, and that's it. Why can't you just pin an unlimited number? Like if I have 5 conversations that I need to follow up on, let me just pin 5 at the top so I can just be like, okay, I need to get back to this person. It's frustrating. But I must tell you that the beautiful thing about WhatsApp is, you know, you can use it like on your computer and stuff like that. And so a lot of times like typing messages and it's pretty easy to do that. Everton says, you hurt my feelings when you don't tell me good morning, but it's all good. Aw, don't get up in your feelings, honey Jill. Good morning to everyone. Some mornings I can't go through the full list of people because y'all be here strong and representing. How many people do we have online right now? 336 between YouTube, Facebook, and then another 11 folks over on IG. Good morning to everybody. So I do a general good morning some mornings. So I had to block somebody this week. Wonk, wonk, wonk. I still need to get that sound. Oh my God. YouTuber says, Sandy, that M flashes. No, man, we put in some new thermostats and I think they're kind of weird. Like I'm still trying to get them adjusted. Oh my gosh. Yes. I had to block someone because this person is just really weird. I can't do weird. I'm sorry. Some of y'all just need to stop it. Oh my gosh. So let me tell y'all, apparently this person likes to listen to the show. And then all they do is complain, thinking that we're always thinking and talking about them. It ain't about you, boo-boo. So the other day, remember the political post? They thought we were talking about them and we weren't. We still were not. And then they're like, oh, well, other people don't want to come on my thing because they think you're always saying negative things about me. I'm like, something's wrong with you. But I don't have the energy or time to engage in people who just not, you know, something firing in the wrong direction. And I'm sorry if I don't have the energy for that. I really do not. And so when y'all sends me, some of y'all be sending me these 10, 20-minute voice notes. I'm just like, you know, I'm not going to listen to that, right? I listened to the first couple seconds. Thank you, Mr. Everton, GFCI receptacle. Yes, that's what it is. When y'all be sending me these long messages every single day, and I'm like, yeah, I got right now, I have on WhatsApp 43 unread messages that at some point I need to try and read. And if you're one person trying to take up 83% of my time on WhatsApp, they ain't gonna happen. So this person is just they're too out there for me. And they get in their feelings a lot about stuff that, you know, I don't even understand why. It doesn't make any sense. So this week they were up in their feelings again and they started sending me all these messages. Oh, you mentioned me on your show. And I said, well, you're the one who said you're running for political office. This makes you, you know, how do you know I wasn't joking? I ain't got time for that. I don't have time for childish games. Okay? If you're running for office and you say on the show you're running for office, then I take you at face value and you're running for office. Like I don't have the mind games just, you know, I don't have time for gaslighting. I don't have time for narcissists. I ain't got time. No. So I said, you know, look, yeah, just stop messaging me. I'm not even going to tell you who, because then she runs and complains to somebody else. Oh, Sandy called my name. I'm not even going to tell you who this person is, Leroy. It doesn't even matter. They're not really that relevant, but this is a warning to everybody else. Okay? There's certain things that just really annoy me. And so I said, listen to me. Now, let me make it very, very clear. The 50 gazillion messages you sent me yesterday, I've really not read all of them, to be honest, because I ain't got that kind of time in the day. You're up in your feelings, and The problem is it really doesn't have anything to do with me. This has more to do with you than me. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do you a favor. Not going to think about you, not going to talk about you, and I'm going to block you. Because it seems like all you want to do is sit down and watch CMR. Sure enough, I went to YouTube because years ago I had blocked them on Facebook, unrelated to, they just right? I go to YouTube and see that they're following me with 2 different YouTube accounts. I was like, okay, block. Good. Then they pop up and start commenting on Instagram. I'm like, oh, snaps. You're an IG too? Block. You see, you don't get to engage. This isn't a one-way situation where like, oh, I only want to engage with you when I feel like it and what I want to talk about. I'm like, no. I have choices too. And then I blocked them. Haven't said anything else since day before yesterday. What do? This morning, they turn on and send me something on WhatsApp. Went to WhatsApp, block. Now you should have no way of contacting me. Don't contact me again. I literally said to you, I'm going to save you the distress of thinking that people are always talking about you. And I'm going to block you. After I tell you you're going to block you, I'm going to block you. You turn on and message me. What do you? Okay. Now you're blocked. Take that. That's right, Leroy. Leroy said, take a block. Hot mess. Duke, good morning. How are you? How the hell you think MR is number 1 on the platforms? Duke, that's not what we think. So you'll be okay. That ain't got nothing to do with what we think. And in fact, we can prove it. You do know, Duke, I know you think you're smart this morning, but you do know that platforms like Instagram and YouTube gives you, and Facebook especially, gives you all sort of analytical data. Mm-hmm. So you take that, and you're about to take a block this morning too. Say one more thing to me, Duke. Go ahead. Make my day. Mm-hmm. I got you, Miss Hilda. I got you. Oh, Lord. Y'all look like y'all want to annoy me this morning. Not this caller. I was talking to Duke. Hold on, honey child. Let me plug in the phone. Uh-oh. Hold on. Uh-oh. I got to make sure I plug it in properly. Okay. Let me call you back. I think you were calling me on WhatsApp, right? Yeah. Okay, honey child. Yeah, y'all can get blocked. We got a little extra charge in the phone now, 31%. Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Not bad. How you doing?
I'm okay now. I only caught like just a little bit, but just based on what I just caught, I would like anyone who is considering running for political office to think with their heart and their brain and not with their wallet. Okay? It is a role that needs to be taken seriously. And I think there should be, I guess in the spirit of freedom, anyone is allowed to run, but I still think you have to have some personal, some integrity to think, can I do this role? Can I do this job? And will I have the fortitude to stand up against my colleagues when I think that they're making an ill-informed decision or X, Y, Z? I think for too long, people have felt, because it's worked into fruition where they make too much money and they're not held accountable. And I think it just sends a negative message to anyone that's considering the role. Like, I think, we get some people that they start off with good intention and good potential, but they end up, sometimes you're just the only person making one statement and nobody has your back because everyone is just supporting whatever they're supporting for. And they're just, I don't know if they need to have like a initial, I don't know how they break down their salary. If you get your salary as how it starts period, or if you gradually increase, like how it happens in the real world for the rest of us, where you start at a starting salary and then you earn your way to a promotional status, and you have to. But I don't think so. I think you're voted in, and that is your salary.
Yeah,
I think
well, I
also
mean,
a lot of
they all. I mean, MPs start out with the same salary, but obviously ministers do make more.
oh, they have more salary.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
So what
permanent. Are they still called permanent secretaries? Like Heather and those
but
people.
those are not
Permanent
okay,
secretaries.
so okay.
What's the official title now? But they
MLA?
make no. They're the ones who they're like understudy for ministers. What's that position called now?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? So they make more as well.
Right.
So they make, I think, like $1,000 more or something like that. Something secretary.
Yeah, because
what the heck's the title?
I know it's valued, it's necessary, it's good to have a representative and whatnot.
Cabinet secretary. No, not cabinet sec. Is it cabinet secretary? No.
Maybe cabinet member. Cabinet,
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
know. I'm just throwing
Somebody soon. So they have several of them. There's Heather. There is so they're not ministers, they're like mini ministers, but not really. Parliamentary secretaries.
Yes,
there we go. Parliamentary secretaries. Thank you.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. So they're not policymakers then, but they could eventually take on the role if they so desire.
Well, oftentimes they fill in. They're MPs that can fill in for ministers and stuff like that. So they're kind of like a junior minister.
Okay. So they can do an acting role as well.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So
and then opposition, like the leader of the opposition gets a little bit more. Obviously, the Speaker of the House gets more. So yeah, no, but point taken. It shouldn't be about the salary, but we can see that for a lot of people, it is.
Yeah, and I've been, because of what I do for a living, I run across a lot of people. Some are on work permits, some are, just Caymanians working. And it almost seems, because someone said to me, does it seem like because government is the largest employer, that majority of their stuff is dictated to support civil servants more than the average Joe? And I believe it is. I don't know if it's intentional or if it's just because it's the majority. But something as I've been trying to contact Sabrina Turner to discuss this with her, because, for example, yes, government mandates that all employers have to provide, or at least provide partial insurance. Either they fund it fully or the split between employer and employer, however it is. But do you know, Sam, at the minimum, even though it's required, the minimum basic insurance standard plan does not include, for example, of eye exam. So, when you have an eye exam, it's the window to many things. It can indicate many health issues, but that, which could be preventative overall as well. But that basic necessity is not part of the basic plan. And
you know what the funny thing is, you're probably calling the wrong person. You're probably calling the wrong person, because she's the Minister of Health and Wellness, but insurance doesn't fall under her. So you'd be wasting your time calling her, because insurance falls under.
She could inform me, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. So insurance falls under. Hold on a second now. It used to be. It used to be Saunders. So who's taken over his ministerial portfolio? Is it Andre now? But whoever. Oh gosh. Let me double check, but it's not Sabrina. Yeah. But anyway.
Well, I only was reaching out to her because, this is health, and perhaps it could be a conversation, as obviously for wellness, this would be a necessary thing. Basic dental screening, basic this, basic that. Now they'll say, oh, well, they could just go to HSA, but come on, everyone, you can't have 6,000 people plus some of the private sectors all trying to go to the dental clinic or the eye clinic, who are ophthalmologists, who are doing surgery. So the division, the spread of the work is not equal. It's not fair, and it's not like we're not really looking after those who come here to work and those who are generational people here that need care. Because in the long run, now everyone just can't end up at NAU. Like, come on, that cannot be the plan for the future. Oh well, we'll just take care of them at that end. Really?
Mm-hmm. All right.
You know.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We live in a very reactive society still, but we have to be more proactive.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, caller. You too. So yes, parliamentary secretary, that's the term. It used to be called something else, and I always get them confused. So yes, Hilda, I finally got your message. Nothing came through yesterday. All right. We'll link you later. Okay, so yes, folks, there's some very good salient points. I mean, at the end of the day, right, y'all need to grow some thicker skin as well. If you want to be in the political arena, nobody forces you to get involved in politics, first and foremost. Quite honestly, most of you, we would rather you not get involved in politics if the truth be known. Most of you are bringing zero, nada, nothing, zilch, whatever other languages you can put that in, to the table. So nobody tells you that you need to jump up and run for politics, but if you have a desire to truly serve the people of the Cayman Islands, ensure that you understand what service involves. Yes? Because unfortunately, if you have a thin skin, if you think people are always talking about you, right? And you get all up in your feelings and you have time to be messaging me, even at this early stage about, I think you might have been trying to say something negative about me, but you really didn't. Do yourselves a favor. Stay out of the political arena because you're not seeing nothing yet. We not come for you, none at all. We're not even thinking about you. But if you run for politics, we're going to be putting you under a microscope. We're going to be asking, what have you done historically that shows a track record of success? What are you capable of doing for the people of the Cayman Islands? Long gone, I'm putting this out in the universe for y'all to accept. Long gone is the time when we would just sit back and take any kind of foolishness from these MPs and any kind of unqualified officials as well. We have to change the narrative of what we want to represent us, the people. It really and truly is as simple as that. Because until we do that, we will get what we get and we will deserve, in fact, the MPs that we get. So let us set the tone, raise the bar, and then they're going to have to fall in line. The vast majority of people out there who want to run are not qualified in any way, shape, or form. They're not ready. That's why, like I said, we're going to go through the exercise of getting ready. There is a process of knowing what you want in an elected official, and I think we need to go through that exercise. We're going to cover some of it tomorrow, actually. All right. So you guys saw this TCI story. Oh, by the way, thanks for the messages. Magnum Opus said not only potential candidates have to take it seriously, voters more so should be doing so. History shows that they haven't, based on those who they elected. Preach it, Magnum Opus. Cameron says, speaking about him, somebody tell me some rumblings happening already with this new crew we have. Any truth to that, Sandy? There's always truth to that. The truth of the matter is the only difference between this group under the leadership of former Premier Wayne Panton and under the leadership of the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly is that she rules with more of an iron fist. So when they were calling him autocratic, that was a lie. She rules with more of an iron fist, and they are literally afraid of her. The reason why they're afraid of her is because she has chips on the board. You see, the Honorable Wayne Panton didn't have very many options, even in terms of putting his government together. I hate to say it, but he just didn't have very many options. So his lack of available options meant that they always knew that they had him by the testicles, right? Because even when they were misbehaving and doing the most, If he was like, I'm going to demote you, I'm going to do it, they're like, there's only so many of us you can fire. There's only so many of us you can demote, which is true. So they knew that because the numbers were so tight, they could misbehave. And he pretty much had little to no choice of what to do with them. But mind you, at the same time, he's the only premier in this country that has ever held more than one, let me put it this way, of his ministers and members accountable. Fired Chris Saunders, demoted, what's the member from West Bay called? Bernie. Who else did he reprimand? Did he reprimand somebody else? But he didn't have a whole lot of options. So this is the very interesting thing about this. Unfortunately for him. But Julie has options. And they know that she has options. Because she tell him no, she's not cutting no trees with them. She's like, listen, I can fire you. And I got my PPM people waiting in the wings, ready to go. So try me if you bright. That pretty much what she's telling them. Try me, honey child. You bright, bring it on. So they're scared of getting fired from those ministerial positions because they need those ministerial positions. And so there seems to be a bit of an understanding, Cameron, with this current administration, the PPM administration, that if we need you, Julie can just pick up that phone and say, come to my office. I got a new job for you. She will literally get rid of every single one of them, even her deputy premier. Don't think she joking. Because leader of the opposition would gladly take that up. So, there's a bit of a, I am privy to certain things, and somebody was walking around the other day talking about, this government don't like Sandy. Julie don't like Sandy, and she got a target on her back. That was a term that they use. Honey child, every single one of her ministers have a target on their backs. You think that they don't know that? What are we gonna do? Stop doing her job? Stop speaking out because we have a target on her back? What's she gonna do to people? Well, she can do something to them, but I mean, she's not gonna do anything to me. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't pay my salary, so I don't know what they're planning on doing, Cameron. I'm just like, huh? But yes, they're aware, and sometimes they let a little something slip. Like, Sandy, I really won't come on your show, and I just have to suck it up and do it because I need to reach the people. And I chuckle, not so silently. I chuckle and I said, oh, you mean going over to Radio Cayman, not doing it for you after all? Because according to her, that reaches everybody. And they just like, but yeah, she gonna haul them in. And they have to, well, Julie, that's where the people are, I mean, right now she got 440 people on her show. How many people you think listening to Radio Cayman? Maybe 10 if we're lucky. You can't argue, you can't refute and argue with facts. What? Soka? What kind of news you give me here this morning? Oh my God. Oh, I can't process that. Pat says, thinking everyone is talking about you speaks to your feelings of inadequacy. It does. And the last thing that we need are more politicians who are up in their feelings. God knows. They need to just man up, woman up, put on the big girl panties. That probably applies to both the men and the women, to be honest. Just get on with it. They get in their feet. Like sometimes, and I mean, we're all human beings, so I get it. I remember one called me and he was up in his feelings. Oh, my wife talking about, what you said this morning was that's not nice, Sandy. I thought we were friends. I'm like, bro, this ain't about friendship. This is about you running the country. And if people have a legitimate concern and complain about you and they bring it to my attention, what you want me to do? We got to talk about it. You're free to call in. You're free to address it. You're free, but calling me after the show, like all up in your feelings, I'm thinking about calling my lawyer. I'm just like, oh, Jesus. I said, well, call your lawyer, honey child. See what your lawyer tells you. Go ahead. See what your lawyer can tell you, honey child. Go ahead. Call your lawyer. They need money too. What a hot mess. Y'all will be all right. Y'all will be just fine. I can't get involved with you politicians like that because y'all just You know, you have to know, like I said, this game isn't for everybody. This job is not for everyone. And do a proper assessment. And if it ain't for you, then it ain't for you. Shaka Zulu says, Auntie Sandy, it's obvious that she's not ready for politics. Trust and believe. She needs to understand the name branding is part and parcel of a winning strategy. Yeah, some of these people just not they will never be ready. They only want people to pat them on the back. Oh, you're doing a good job. Even when they go to like people who used to support them and they're like, yeah, I can't support you no more because you're really disappointing the people. Like you've dropped the ball, they're out there already, Cameron, to be clear, begging for financing for the upcoming election, begging for money. Because, now is the time, this last 12 months for the people who are in there now is the time for them to start spreading some dollar bills out in the community. So you'll see all of a sudden every addict, whether it's alcohol, cocaine, crack, whatever, they are going to be flush with money because the donors are starting to dole it out. People are getting ready for campaign mode, and money is going to start flowing in our streets again. And it's unfortunate. Now is the time for new refrigerator requests to come in, living room furniture, all sorts of favors. Get ready. El Rey says if you can't fire them because of numbers, then change the law that their salaries can be reduced. Who can change the law? The very legislators who would be negatively impacted? Y'all are asleep at the wheel. Because what happens is they change the legislation to be favorable to them, right? We don't know anything about it. We're not paying attention until it's too late. Remember when the PPM government not only gave themselves a raise, but they also turned around and gave themselves a severance package so that when they get fired, they're not voted back in, or even resign, we have to foot the bill for another 3 months for those individuals. I've never heard of such a thing. They're increasing the salary of political advisors 40%. Hardship allowance. This was an article that we did back in 2021. Do y'all remember this? Y'all were asleep when this happened. And then when we actually talked about this and put this out in the public domain, you know what y'all were most concerned about? Where did Sandy get this information from? We got a leak in the civil service. Honey child, look, Sandy got people's salary up there. How she know what is man making? 40% increase. See the sheet here? Right there. Huh? Making $12,619.48 on par with some elected members. And then on top of that, that amount included his 100% government contributed pension and a hardship supplement for $1,221.24 that was added to his salary back in 2014. This was the assistant to the premier, Alden McLaughlin. He needed a hardship allowance? Really? Making that kind of money, he needed a hardship allowance. Wow. Y'all see the problem here? Do you all see the problem? I don't know what to say, but I can tell you what. This ain't it. It's just unbelievable. The people of this country have very short-term memories. You guys are not paying attention. When stuff happens, you forget When election time happens, they get you in this election fever and you forget all of the horrible things that they did the previous 3.75 years. And it is a very, very sad indictment on we, the people of this country. That's why, Shaka Zulu, I agree with you. We can't blame the MPs for the position that we're in when we, in fact, are the ones making the decisions to put them where they are and to keep them where they are, even when they are not performing on the job. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Sandra. Good morning, CMR family. Hope all is
Good
well.
morning, good morning, darling. Thank you.
Yes, I agree with you about the politicians because I see they coming out now. Yeah, the community getting cleaned up, the road getting paved now, and they're going to soon start knocking at your door. So keep out and looking because Georgetown getting prettier and prettier by the minute every time I step out.
Yep.
All the walls getting painted, everything Port Authority, but yet the Port Authority employees can't get paid well enough. No pay raise for them. So it go, love.
Yes.
So it go. They coming out. When I went Eastern the other day, I said, yes, fix up. Fix up. Yes, election is clocking down. And I need to wake up. The same politicians that's out here harassing your children, your wives, all the kind of stuff. They picking on they picking, because they know who to test. And I need to wake up. And I need to wake up.
Yeah.
Election is coming right around the corner.
Yes, absolutely.
And I get there, get to your platforms, get to their campaign and ask some questions straight up and forward. Are you a pedophile? How come there's not a sex offender registry all now? Ask them straight up. Do not hold back and record them too. Record them what they say. Because if they get in, use it against them.
Yes, my dear.
If they don't to run this country, to take care of us, the people that put them in, because it's my loyalty and my trust I put into you.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. And
Thank you,
have a
darling.
good day.
Thanks. You too. All right, honey. So yes, a hardship allowance for a person making over $10,000. Wow. I mean, I don't know what kind of hardship they facing, honey chill, but I don't see nothing like that yet. Yep, hardship allowance. And then you have other people in here who making money. We don't even know what the heck it is that they're doing. These cabinet office people, part of the good old boys network. Poor Alfonso, he's still there, making $9,100 a month. Doing what? I don't know. I don't know what he does, because what he does should be covered by the protocol office and or other people, other civil servants who already have jobs. So, this now is where y'all need to pay attention to what is happening and how your money is being spent. They give themselves a severance package, Back in 2020, when the country went into lockdown, maybe you might remember this story as well. Let me pull this one up for y'all to jog your memory. When the country was, going into lockdown. Well, we were already in lockdown for March, having all sorts of issues. People were asking if the government was if the MPs were going to get a pay cut. Premier Alden McLaughlin said, no, pay cut for what? Nope. This is Wendy Ledger asking the question, are there any plans for ministers and MLAs to take a pay cut given the current circumstances? He said, no, ma'am, they're not. They aren't. That was his quote, quickly and abruptly. Nope. We ain't doing it. Ay. No, sir. No, sir. What a mess. Go and have a look. We covered it before. MP salaries and severance pay. Again, I did a whole show on it, did a whole breakdown back in January 2021, giving themselves this new severance option And that was something that pretty much was really under radar. There was no public discussion on it. They quick time passed it. And then guess what? It was too late. Severance package already in place for them. You can imagine, right? Not even if you get fired. Because think about it like this. The position for everybody else is if you resign from your job, you're not entitled to severance. You're only entitled to severance if you get fired from your job. Then the law dictates 1 week per year or whatever. An MP can decide to quit at the end of their tenure. They're not going to run anymore. They're tapping out. Oh, I've had enough stress, honey child. Y'all been stressing me out. I can't take the scrutiny. They can resign and they get a 3-month severance package. You can work for a company for 25, 30 years. You resign and you don't get no severance package. So what they have put into the law for themselves is better than what is in the labor law that is supposed to protect the people of this country. How does that make any sense to y'all? What am I missing? You understand? Something is wrong when you're an elected official and you believe that you should have more protections in place for yourself than the people of this country that you are elected and paid to represent. Why didn't they change the law where all of us, if we resign from our jobs, are entitled to a 3-month severance package? Wouldn't that be nice? But that's not happening. It's just unbelievable. Wow. Are y'all awake? Pat says a dog and pony show has started. Absolutely. Cameron says, and wait till the moon and the stars align. What a hot mess. Thank you to that last caller. She needed a kaboom. Yep. All sorts of stuff can get done now, boy. The pressure's on. Oh, we definitely gonna have front row seats, Cameron, to this hot mess of a situation because y'all need to recognize the games that are being played with your lives. They're sitting pretty. Now, when I say to you, El Rey says not fired, made redundant, whatever term we can call it, resigning, made redundant, whatever, they still getting 3-month severance. When I say to you that a lot of the MPs that we have in there now, and I think the previous caller made a good point when she said, don't lead with your purse or your pocketbook or your finances. When y'all realize that these people were on the verge of bankruptcy and they got into office and still couldn't pay their bills, still had to go around asking people for money and begging, oh, can you help me out with this, that, and the next thing? Their first 2 Christmases in their constituency, they didn't even have the money to go and do the little Christmas giveaways. So I only say this to make the point. You need to understand that these people are 90% about the salary that they're getting, and that's about it. That's the problem. And it's very, very unfortunate. Magnum Opus says, I'm sorry, but the caller is an example of what's wrong with K-Man. We aren't supposed to be voting in people to look out for us. They're elected to facilitate an environment that allows opportunity. Well, I think that's what she meant. To be fair to her, I don't think she meant individually doing something for you. I think she meant in a broader sense, putting opportunities and policies and stuff in place that benefit all Caymanians. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra. How are you?
Not bad, dear. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. I just want to say good morning to the wider listening audience as well, too. I think we're on a great track here for observations for 2025. I think it would be really helpful to the general public, and I don't know if it would be you, but I would assume you take it on to create a list of things that have been done. I'd say about 7.5 years ago here now, from the previous administration, to show people what they have done against the electorate, against the country, both good and bad. But just creating a list of tallies that would weigh out each candidate or collective governments over the past 8 to 10 years, maybe even 12, because the majority of the players are all the same. Then this would really help give the voters a true sense of who they're actually dealing with, because obviously we're waking up. People are a lot more active. They're a lot more alert. They're paying attention. So show them this is who you've been voting for, both good and bad. This is what they brought to the table, both good and bad. And I think that would give a nice level playing field to both incumbents and new persons that are aspiring to be in political office.
Okay.
So I think that'd be great for our debates on Fridays.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good day.
All right, my dear. Bye-bye. All right, folks. Some good points for sure. Very, very good points. All right. So breaking news this morning. I mean, I can't even believe this. Apparently, Harvey Weinstein has had his conviction overturned. Soka brought it to our attention, and I'm sitting here shaking my head. How on earth did this happen? Well, wow. This is the process now of appeals and the court system and stuff. Oh my. So, wow. Okay. Oh my gosh. What on earth? Hold on. Let me see if I can get let me pull up some news feeds on this. Because this is shocking. Let's see what we know. So news this morning, just breaking now, that hold on a second, still trying to find it. Oh my goodness, what a hot mess. I mean, I don't know that this guy can be vindicated, but anyway. Trying to see, it's not quite showing up in the news stories yet, but I think it's showing up as breaking news ticker. So, all right. So we don't have a news story to be able to read any of the details, but as soon as we do, I will certainly let you guys know. But yes, it seems like, okay, here we go, 13 minutes ago. So Harvey Weinstein's rape conviction overturned by New York Court of Appeals. Wow. So a New York court has overturned his 2020 felony conviction on Thursday and ordered a new trial. Oh, that's interesting. So they've ordered a new trial. Okay. The allegations of sexual assault and harassment against Weinstein helped reignite the global #MeToo movement. He was originally sentenced to 16 years in prison in a separate rape case in Los Angeles, which isn't affected by this decision. So this is just the New York one. Oh, I see. Okay. I don't see what the grounds were yet. So I guess that information will be forthcoming here shortly. Let me see what the New York Times is saying about it. So the New York Times says the prosecutors, Manhattan prosecutors, must now decide whether to retry Weinstein, the disgraced Hollywood producer. Did they say why? In a 4-3 decision, the New York Court of Appeals found that the trial judge who presided over Weinstein's case had made a crucial mistake, allowing prosecutors to call as witnesses a series of women who said that Weinstein had assaulted them, but whose accusations were not part of the charges against him. Okay. Citing that decision and others it identified as errors, the appeals court determined that Weinstein, who had been one of the most powerful men in Hollywood, had not received a fair trial. The 4 judges in the majority, so it was a 4-3 split. So by no, this is not a unanimous decision. 4-3 is almost an even split, really. But the 4 judges in the majority wrote that Weinstein was not tried solely on the charges he was charged with, but instead for much of his past behavior. Interesting. All right, well, we'll keep an eye on this one. He says a conviction in California, so I'm assuming he's still going to stay in jail. They went on to say it was an abuse of judicial discretion to permit untested allegations of nothing more than bad behavior that destroys the defendant's character but sheds no light on their credibility as related to the criminal charges. Okay. Interesting. All right. We'll keep you all updated. What a hot mess, Jill. Yes. Ay. Shaka Zulu says, "Call, I think this is an opportunity for your political party that is running. Point out the stats of the previous government." And once again, Shaka, unfortunately, most of these people are not running based on any philosophical or political position. They just run on, oh, do you like me? Am I likable? Then give me a vote. So that's very, very interesting. Everton says that guy is rich and he's a movie producer, very influenced, come back, no talk. And you know what? Walk. Money that definitely affords you certain privileges, I can tell you that. And that means the privilege of getting good legal counsel as well that will analyze and reanalyze and do the most. I think there's no doubt about the type of person he actually is. But anyway, that's different than getting a conviction. Good morning to Gabby. She says, anything to do with Holly Weird doesn't surprise me anymore. Yes. He may be released by the law, but he cannot escape karma, says Pat. Jim says, if true, sick, cover up, and more corruption. El Rey says, yep, same BS with law technicalities. The 100% guilty can be found not guilty, pure. And then he uses an expletive. Everton says, so does that mean they're going to be sitting in the stage for him to walk set free? That's the game that they play. Jim says New York is another mess. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Rough Seas claiming that Oprah got him out. Doubt that. I woke up to that news just now. Didn't catch it all, says Soka. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I mean, they're sending it back to trial. The prosecution obviously has to decide what to do. Hopefully they will retry him and get it right this time. You got to toe the line of the law, I suppose. And law can be very, very complex. I'm not saying that these judges have not considered something that could be an issue, because especially in criminal cases, they will always, if there's something they're considering legally that potentially compromises a defendant's right to freedom versus, the prosecution may have overstepped a little bit. I'm telling you, 99% of the cases, they're going to give it to the defendant, because that's how serious criminal cases are seen, because you were literally taking away someone's freedom. They're in jail. And so any slip up, even on a technicality, will get cases thrown out. And in a lot of places in the world, even here in the Cayman Islands, look at what happened with the McKeeva Bush case. That was a technicality. That did not even get handed to the jurors. The judge stopped it beforehand. Yep. So, yeah, that's how it works. Anyway, let's talk about this TCI case. And we'll keep an eye. on it for you. Oh, Rough Seas, I saw your comment. I'm not quite sure what that is supposed to be about, but let's read it. It's interesting. Imagine you're about to lose your career as a lawyer because Sandy comes breathing down your neck. You come closer and closer to losing your job, and then you become a janitor if you're lucky. I don't know who you're talking about. Presumably, you're speaking about the matter yesterday that we talked about. What does that have to do with me? This has got nothing to do with me. No lawyer is about to lose their job because of me. They're about to lose their job because it is against the law, and you can actually go to jail for lying in an affidavit. So if you lie in an affidavit that was submitted to the court about your actions in relation to sexting a client, some people would say the least of your worries would be losing your job. That is a jailable offense, lying to the court in an affidavit. So that has nothing to do with me. I'm just informing the people of this country as to what is happening behind these doors in court and what's coming out in the judgments. The judgment is already out. The woman case is thrown out. I'm just here to explain it to y'all. Simple as that. Y'all need to take accountability for your actions and stop trying to blame other people. Okay. So, let's talk about this case. This is, good morning, Miss Olive. This case now coming out of the U.S. is very, very interesting. We've seen this type of situation here in Cayman far too many times, and we've talked about it just up to the other day, about the fact that, you know, we have individuals coming to this country with firearms, and they seem to get a pat on the back far more than anybody here in this jurisdiction who's caught with a weapon. You're facing minimum 10 years if you're found guilty, and a minimum 7 years if you plead guilty. And depending on how, if you use the firearm and how you use it, maybe even more time than that, 20 years or more. And I don't blame the courts at all. They are sending a very, very strong message about firearms in this jurisdiction. I can't blame them. That's the message that we want to be sent. You can't be walking around our streets with firearms. But our position as it relates to foreign nationals doing so is completely different. We seem to be okay with foreign nationals coming into this country. And when I say we now, I'm specifically addressing the judiciary. We seem to be okay with foreign nationals coming into Cayman with ammunition, guns, and whatever. Hardcore guns as well, like the one guy, the Russian-Canadian guy that just got off. Even if he was convicted, he would be getting a little fine. Here's a little couple $1,000, pay this, and we're good. Good morning, caller.
Hi. Thank you. To, I guess, allow you to tell a story about what went on in the BVI. I think it was a gun case as well.
This one is TCI.
But I believe it was a gun case as well, similarly related to what we have going on here.
Yeah, they were found with ammunition. Mm-hmm.
Correct. But I mean, the double standard, I am going to be honest, I'm going to focus on Cayman because this is where I live and this is where my children live and this is the island that I must protect. The double standard here, not just in gun crimes, but since we're going to be addressing gun crimes, is unnerving. It is absolutely unnerving, and the double standard is next level. I don't even know if there's a word, right? Because for me, like you say, foreign nationals coming in here and or ammunition, and essentially, I don't care if they fine them $100,000, it still does not equivocate to a 7 or a 10-year sentence. Had it been a Caymanian who was like probably a licensed gun owner going to the U.S., or I went up to shoot, I forgot it's in here, I forgot, whatever the case is, maybe they're a licensed gun holder in the U.S. state that they visited. Let that Caymanian have come back here with a bullet in their back because they forgot. See, they wouldn't be northward. Yes, there wouldn't be northward. The double standard here that we have in the judiciary, not just with guns, but since this is what we were talking about, let me say, it is unnerving. It is next level sick. And I'm just tired of it. I don't know when someone is going to stand up and say the standard ought to be the same for everyone.
No, we've done that already. We've said it already. We're going to say it again this morning. Now, whether or not anybody's listening is a whole different question, but we have most certainly said it before.
They don't care to listen. And I mean, for me, not even making an attempt to address it, to say, obviously Parliament and the judiciary must be separate. But Parliament makes legislation. The job of the judiciary is to carry it out. That is their role. And to me, they're a dismal failure. Slapping fines and levying fines on people is nothing, like I said, 100,000 pales in comparison to 7 to 10 years in jail.
You're right, motor mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It pales. We have people coming in here and they're not even putting an X on. Person can't come back to Cayman. They pay a fine. What are they doing? Boosting our coffers? Like, come on. But what message are we sending? Honestly, what message are we sending? And it's not just this. Why has Parliament taken so long to implement a sex offenders register? Why are we still sitting down here and allowing people to conduct more sexual assault? Look at the donkey that's in court now. Donkeys are good words for him. That disgusting animals. Look at him, sex with a 13-year-old girl, rape at a 13-year-old girl. We're going to call it what it is. It's not sex with a child. You cannot legally have sex with a child. And to the extent that you do, it is rape. And we still have stupid legislation on the book to not be able to amply tackle this kind of thing. What are we doing? All
right, caller.
And then every time they can hire that come in and run out. They come in, do their crime, don't even do their time, pay their fine and leave. Yet with jailing Cayman and hand over for, in what my opinion is sometimes very stupid things. I'll leave you there.
Thank you, 936-2626. So let's get some facts on this. I do see another caller was calling in. They hung up. We're still trying to work on that toll-free number so that hopefully there's no need to hang up because it'll be toll-free. But we're working on it. All right, so listen to this, folks. First of all, this is an Oklahoma couple. And when I was doing some reading up on this last night, I saw something that was very, very interesting. This story is actually up still with this mistake. But there is this news organization in Tulsa, Oklahoma, who actually have our name in the headline. And this story actually has nothing to do with us. So it says, Oklahoma couple arrested in the Cayman Islands when TSA found ammunition in their luggage. I don't know who Crystal Kelly is, but can somebody please tell Crystal that this story has nothing to do with Cayman Islands? But according to her, she confuses. I mean, I guess they think one island, we're all the same. She says Ryan and Valerie Watson were vacationing with friends in Turks and Caicos, and now Ryan is sitting in prison. According to GoFundMe, the couple were heading home from the Cayman Islands when airport security found 4 rounds of ammunition inside their luggage. Listen, they think so little of us and they know so little of us that they're confusing TCI in the Cayman Islands. But there you have it. I guess in their minds, there really is no difference. This is, to be clear, this is a TCI story and not a Cayman Islands story. But there's the headline. It's still live right now. Y'all can go read her story. Still has the exact same headline. Nobody has fixed it. And of course, Americans are jumping up on their little bandwagon. Oh my God, he might be going to jail. Wah. We got to stop this. This is a travesty of justice. How about it's a travesty of justice that y'all think that every place in the world that you go to, you can walk around with AK-47s, Uzis, ammunition, and all this other stuff. Like, relax with your weapons and your guns and your suitcases. Simply check your suitcases and your bags before you travel. Who doesn't do that? So, of course, now they got this wah story because he could be looking at potentially a mandatory minimum sentence of 12 years behind bars after airport security found 4 rounds of hunting ammunition in his carry-on bag. Of course, I feel sorry for him. The dude's a father. That's why you should check your luggage. You know, they just feel like the laws don't apply to them. And TCI might be sending a message because they don't look like they're playing with these people like we are here in Cayman. So apparently possession of gun or ammunition is prohibited in TCI, just like here in the Cayman Islands. But tourists are previously often able to pay a fine. In February, hear the change now. Judiciary, Cayman Judiciary, are you all paying attention? I need y'all to confirm that you're actually paying attention. Because even TCI has seen that this imbalance in justice cannot continue. In February, a court order mandated that even tourists in the process of leaving the country are subject to prison time. Let me read it again, just in case y'all missed it. I'm going to say it a little bit slower to ensure I'm not mincing my words in any way, shape, and form. In February, yes, a court order mandated that even tourists in the process of leaving the country are subject to prison time. So here we come now with Ryan Watson, leaving the country with his wife. Earlier this month, after their vacation, he was arrested. They were holding the wife. They let her go. She's lucky. She's back in Oklahoma City with their kids. She's in tears now, going on all the radio shows all over America. CBS News, ABC News, Oklahoma News that confuses TCI in the Cayman Islands. There you go. Talking about we were trying to pack board shorts and flip-flops. Packing ammunition was not at all our intent. Clean out your suitcases. Y'all must be some nasty people that you don't even clean out your suitcases. Okay. They learned on Sunday that she would not be charged and would be allowed to return home. She said the trip went from being what was supposed to be a dream vacation to a nightmare. Well, that's all of your own doing. There's another guy there from Pennsylvania, this Brian Hagerich. He's awaiting trial after ammo was found in his checked baggage as well. He says, I subsequently spent 8 nights in their local jail. Some of the darkest, hardest times of my life, quite frankly. These last 70 days have been kind of a roller coaster. Just the pain and suffering of having your family at home and I'm here. Don't take ammunition to other people's countries. Don't take guns to other people's countries. Since November 2022, 8 firearms and ammunition prosecutions in total have been brought involving tourists and TCI from the United States, 3 of which are currently before the court with each of the defendants on bail. Here's the thing. They had a guy last year, Michael Grimm from Indiana, had exceptional circumstances when he pleaded guilty to accidentally having ammunition in his check bag. He served 6 months in prison. Good. Hear what he said. No clean running water. You're kind of exposed to the environment 24/7. Woo, that don't sound like a nice prison. Mosquitoes and tropical illnesses are a real concern. There's some hostile actors in the prison. The judge who said his sentence was based entirely on the fact that he is American was hoping to send a message to other Americans. The U.S. Embassy last September posted a travel alert warning people to check your luggage for stray ammunition, noting that it would not be able to secure your release from custody. So your own embassy is telling you all that, and you're still doing it. Like I said, it's only going to take one case. Just like the Skylar Matt case, it will only take one person to apply this law to very, very firmly. Give them a year in prison, because, you know, our prisons here, there's no elements. You're getting good cooked food and all kind of stuff. They're going to enjoy the stay. The only thing they're missing is the beach. Give them 1 year in prison. And then they're going to get the message loud and clear. Stop playing with these countries. Stop playing with your tropical paradise. This ain't for you to come here with your weaponry. Let's watch this video.
Americans traveling to the Caribbean, the territory of Turks and Caicos, has enacted strict new laws with a mandatory minimum prison sentence of 12 years for carrying guns or even merely ammunition. Ryan Watson from Oklahoma is currently behind bars there and has a bail hearing today. The Oklahoma man was arrested at the airport when security found bullets in his luggage, something he says were in there by mistake.
Valerie Watson's return to Oklahoma was emotional. The mother of two is home after 10 days in legal limbo, but without her husband Ryan.
Just to get to hold my babies.
He is in jail in Turks and Caicos facing a potential mandatory minimum sentence of 12 years behind bars over 4 rounds of hunting ammo airport security found in his carry-on bag as the couple were set to travel home April 12th.
This went from what was supposed to be a dream vacation to a nightmare.
We spoke with the Watsons Sunday before they learned Valerie would not be charged and could return home.
How do you forget that there are bullets in your bag?
The best of my knowledge, have to assume that it happened while taking a trip to Texas to hunt deer.
Brian Hegridge from Pennsylvania is awaiting trial after ammo was found in his checked bag in February.
I subsequently spent 8 nights in their local jail, some of the darkest, hardest times of my life, quite frankly.
Possessing ammunition is prohibited in Turks and Caicos. However, tourists were often able to pay a fine until a February court order mandating even tourists leaving the country are subject to prison time. That includes at least 8 Americans.
The judge's sentencing was completely predicated on the fact that I was an American.
That judge found Michael Grimm from Indiana had exceptional circumstances when he pleaded guilty to accidentally having ammo in his checked bag last year, but sent him to this prison for more than 5 months anyway, hoping to send a message to other tourists.
No clean running water. You're kind of exposed to the environment 24/7. Mosquitoes and tropical illnesses are a real concern.
Last September, the U.S. Embassy warned, check your luggage for stray ammunition because we will not be able to secure your release from custody.
I just so desperately want to be back with my son and my daughter. I want to hold them and let them know that this was just an honest mistake.
A mistake landing American tourists visiting an island paradise in a potential prison hell.
Woo, prison hell, they say. Y'all will be just fine. Some of those prisons in America are far worse than that, I can assure you. But anywho, they'll be fine. So big shout out to Kevin. He contacted their news director at this place in Oklahoma. And they have informed us that apparently the news director thought that TCI was part of the Cayman Islands. Wonk, wonk, wonk. Part of the Cayman Islands. I don't make this stuff up. I just report on it. Lord have mercy. Anywho, yeah, the Cayman Islands and TCI. Let me just, any Americans listen to the program. Let me be very, very clear here, folks. Very clear. 2 different jurisdictions completely. TCI stands for Turks and Caicos Islands, made up of a few islands over there. So, Cayman Islands, 3 islands, an hour and 15 minutes from Miami, in a totally different direction on the map. Okay? We're not connected to TCI in any way, shape, or form, except we're both tropical paradises, I suppose. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning, darling.
But again, you wonder if the U.S. is doing their duty, like, say, you just spoke about Miami, like how when we go Miami, belt, shoes, sometimes I wish that we could go through there with just a bathing suit on because they make you strip everything.
Yeah.
You got on a jacket. You might have came from a cold climate or whatever. They make you strip everything and they shouting at you like, we don't know anything or what's going on. So that's the U.S. fault. Why are they not doing that? But you know what happened? Even though everything that we are just about have to ship in here, or freight it in, or whatever we do, is coming from the U.S. It may came from somewhere else, and then to the U.S. and then here. I would say thank you for that, because that's how we live. But they are responsible for searching their peoples, just like how they search our Caribbean people, Cayman people, everything, especially in Miami. And it's ridiculous the way that some of them go on. But you know what? Somebody said, told my husband that some of them have not even been out of the state of Florida.
Well, I mean, yes, that's true.
You know, it's not like they know about traveling. And I don't know what you would say because you went to school there, but I don't think they teach a lot of geography there.
Well,
I don't think so, because everyone seemed to be dumb that you talk to. Oh, what is the Caribbean? Because they're always calling us. Oh, I've been to the Grand Cayman. I've been to your island. I've been to the Grand Bahamas. I've been to the Grand Bahamas. I've been to your island. Not Grand Bahamas. I've come to Grand Cayman Island. So you know, it's slackness everywhere when it want to be, but we're not stomping down on these people hard enough. Charge them, jail them, then deport them.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
That's my law.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Thank you again.
Yes. All right. We do have another caller. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Oh, morning, Sandra.
Morning, dear.
I want to know something if this is international law, right? Because you know the law better than I do. Okay. In any state, ignorance of the law is no excuse, or
That's
it's only
right.
in Cayman Islands.
No, that's pretty much, you know.
So why are we being ignorant to the law as a judicial people, not prosecuting when it's going to be prosecuting people?
Well, it's not that they're not prosecuted, to be very, very clear. They are prosecuted, but then what ends up happening is the judges, separate from the prosecution, gives them a fine and makes them walk away on their merry way.
Well, you know what I feel? This is a colonial mindset kind of thing, you know what I mean? Because if we as locals went to Miami and went to the shooting range and came back with a half of a spent shell, we can get 10 years in prison.
You better believe it.
But if somebody from Timbuktu does it, it comes like it's normal, because like everything that's not from here is better than here, you know? That's the colonial mind system that's here. So I believe that ignorance of the law is no excuse. So if I went to Jamaica where it's decriminalized for marijuana, and I came back here with a ounce or a split in my suitcase, there's no way in hell I could declare that to no customs officer before they found it and say, I mistakenly left this in my luggage. They know what happened to me. I got to be on Mall Road. They can prosecute me to the fullest extent and put me on Mall Road. So I believe it should be fair and proportionate right across the board for everyone. That's how the law works. You know what I mean? Unless the law don't work for nobody then.
Yep. Thank you, caller.
All
Appreciate it.
Thank you, too.
Soka, I think you're right. There's a few people who've been saying this, that they must have thought TCI stood for the Cayman Islands. But the crazy thing is, I mean, they've now corrected the story thanks to Kevin reaching out to them. You know, it's pretty funny because they swiftly corrected it, I should say. But yeah, they don't know geography. They really don't. I mean, back in the day when I was growing up in the States, I thought it was because, you know, back then you didn't have the internet, you didn't have as much information available to you Because anytime I would say I was in the Cayman Islands, they were like, oh, where is that? Is that the Bahamas? Is that Jamaica? Because those are only 3 places they knew back then. Bahamas, Jamaica, and Cuba. So they knew it wasn't Cuba, right? So they're like, is that the Bahamas? And I'm like, how can the Cayman Islands be the Bahamas? I mean, totally different names here, folks. Oh, is that Jamaica? I was like, never mind. Now they can go and they can Google everything, got access to information, and honey child, they still don't know where the Cayman Islands is. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, Sunday. Well, I gotta give it to that caller there, boy, for real. What he said for real. When you think about it, right?
Yes.
And we here contemplating on certain decisions like decriminalization and legalization, and certain things need to pass and whatnot, right? When you think about the people that are visiting here, and the majority of the places where they're coming from, it's already legal or decriminalized. So then certain prosecution, certain things that they're gonna do here, what they would do to us Caymanians, because we are bound by this law that we got here, and we don't have no choice but to deal with it. But because when you go to the United States, you can do certain things, and then it becomes a decriminalization thing when they reach here. If you have an American coming from the United States and he's bringing his ammunition, say it was a bullet that was left in his thing, he's gonna get the decriminalization punishment. He's gonna be like, okay, he's not gonna be charged as a criminal, but we're gonna find him anyways. But because he's not Caymanian, he's not bound to our laws. That's how I see it. I don't know if there's anything close to that. Am I anything close to that, Sandy?
Well, I mean, there's no such thing as there's no such thing as decriminalization when it comes to weapons. If you have it, there's a charge of possession.
The thing about it, right? In America, certain states like the Texas one, right? You're allowed to carry your ammunition.
Well, that's every state in America, but this is not America.
Yeah. But this is the thing now. When their hearing came on, it's against the law. It's illegal. But because he's American and because he can do that in America, he can get a charge. Yes, but we're not going to charge him as a criminal, because over there he's not a criminal to them. So we have to respect their ways, right? So like for us now, because marijuana is illegal, if I come up with a positive blood test, but I just came from, piss test, and I just came from California, am I going to be decriminalized, charged kind of thing, just like how they do it in Mexico? Like if an American is found with ganja and look here, hey, they find those people in Mexico, the Americans, if they're against their law too. So the same way how they should. Hey, Sandy, hey, I'm trying to help bring a point here. It's not only just one thing that you got to talk about. Sometimes you got to talk about a variety of things too, because it's not just one thing.
But you also know that we have.
I understand. Yeah. Sandy,
obviously,
look here.
You don't understand.
Put a poll up if it is not necessary to talk about it. Then
you're obviously not understanding.
Put a poll up and see, and ask the public if it's not necessary to talk about it, because you seem to have the narrative already set straight that we don't give a damn about these things, right?
Alejandro,
Sandy, I don't like playing these games, though, because
Hello. No one is playing games with you. You know that there is an embargo in place. No discussion. All right, look here now. You see, this is when you're a parent and your children try to test you. You say that this is the house rules, no discussion on marijuana. And what are we going to do this morning? Okay, so when I block Alejandro, I don't want not a single one of you to tell me to unblock him, because he is well aware of the rules, and what he is doing this morning is testing the limits of what I will do. Is Sandy really gonna block me? Is she really gonna do what she said she gonna do? Well, guess what? Y'all know something about me? Listen very, very clearly this morning. I am a person of my word. He skirted by a couple days ago, and I allowed him to skirt by with it. We have said 95% of the audience is sick and tired of every conversation on this show being about marijuana. Alejandro, people do not want to hear it. So you know what's going to happen this morning? Hello, caller. You ain't get blocked.
Yeah,
You ain't get blocked this morning. That's it.
that was my reason for calling in.
You ain't get blocked this morning, and that's gonna be it.
Thank you. And if he calls in from another number, just hang up on him because I tired of hearing it. And I mean, he talking about we gotta respect America. I mean, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. Just block him. I know every village needs its idiot, but that one that I don't want to claim. I tired of hearing it. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. You know, folks, you got rules. And when people set down the rules, you can't continue. We're talking about the very same thing here this morning. People trying to push the limits. We have said, give it a break. People are sick and tired of the discussion. Every single thing must involve marijuana. Why? I see this person on Instagram wants to get blocked as well. That's no problem. We can happily block. All right, Folk Rum, let me do you a favor. I'll be blocking you now too. Caller, good morning.
Morning.
Hello there.
I think your listening public is losing sight of what it means to have rights. And when the government starts saying that it's going to block CMR because it doesn't like what CMR is saying, I think they will begin to understand what it means to have rights. I don't like the idea of saying that we can't talk about something. I can understand somebody saying, I don't want to hear something. But the way you respond to something that you don't like is you say why you disagree with it.
It's not about that, Denny. It's about every single discussion. Everything out of this boy's mouth is about marijuana. And the audience is sick and tired of it.
No, I hear that.
It's an obsession. It is not natural.
And everything out of your mouth irritates the government.
That is not the same thing.
When the government does to you what you're doing to him, they will understand.
Danny, we will respectfully have to agree to disagree.
We will have to disagree.
That's fine.
The purpose of rights is for an individual to be able to say things with which other people disagree.
And he can go say that on his own platform. My listeners are sick and tired of hearing him talk about that every single day.
Okay. No, what I'm talking about is rights. And what I'm saying is I'm saying when the government begins to do to CMR what you just did, they will understand how we are destroying our rights.
Okay.
Generally speaking. I absolutely disagree with this idea that we can't talk about something. What we should be talking about is why we disagree. Not saying, no, you can't say something, because what you're doing is you're subscribing to a view that you don't want the government to do to you. I don't agree with that.
All right. Not a problem. You don't have to agree.
Yeah. But having said that, congratulations on being the number one program.
Thank you, Danny.
All right. Take care.
All right. Some people said they want to put it to a poll. I mean, I see most of you saying that you're sick and tired of it. So the poll question, should Alejandro get blocked? He's already blocked, so it's not going to matter, but I'm curious to see what your opinion is. Should he get blocked? And be very, very clear. What he has gotten blocked for is breaking the rule. The rule was set. It was set. And we understood what the rule was. Yes? And he broke the rule. And so this is life. You might not always like all the rules. There's a lot of rules out there that I don't like, and I still have to follow them. They're traffic rules that I might think are ridiculous, and I don't want to follow them. Should I be able to park in a handicapped spot? Well, I got a bad knee. I got a bad limp. Of course I want to park in a handicapped spot, but if I do so, I run the risk of there being consequences. Good morning, caller.
Morning again. But Sandra, I was confused by the previous caller and his comment. I mean, whose show is Cayman Marlboro?
I mean,
I don't understand. I mean, if it's my show, you don't want to listen in. And if I say I don't want to talk about certain things, I mean, What is thing about the government? Don't well then I guess Alejandro jump on the government show, jump on Radio Cayman and talk about it all he wants and see what
Somebody
happens.
says even Facebook and YouTube has rules about certain things that you can't talk about, and
There
they'll
you
block
go.
you from their platform too.
There you go. And Sandra, I would go one step further and block him on Instagram and Facebook. I don't want to see his comments pop up either. Rude.
So listen, to me, this is very, very simple. There was a rule in place, and for whatever reason, he decided this morning. He pushed it previously, since we put the rule in place, and I've been watching. And this is a lesson, because as parents, I think we all know that this happens all the time. Your children are going to test you. You say, look, I'm going to put this here, don't touch it. They're going to walk up to it and look at it, walk around it, thinking, how close can I get? They're going to put their hand close to it, not really touching it, but getting closer and closer and closer. And one day you're going to have to put your foot down and say, enough is enough. If we set certain rules and you do not obey the rules, it's the same thing, right? We have a no profanity rule. If you call on the program with profanity and you can't follow that rule, you're going to be blocked the same way. Simple. It's very, very simple. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Auntie. I was listening to Alejandro, and I think he was making a valid point. Even though, I mean, you got rules and regulations, and I'm not getting into that part of it, but exactly what Dana just said, he was making a point, and I wonder if people just heard the ganja part and now will listen to the point that
that's the problem with him. Let me be we're very clear here, right? Here is a person who's obsessed with marijuana. I think we can all fairly say that without any fear of contradiction. But what he doesn't even realize is he is less effective with his own messaging because he talks about it all the time. If he would be more targeted, and okay, once a month I'm going to have a discussion, make it relevant. But every single conversation that has nothing to do with marijuana, he finds a way to interject marijuana into the conversation. And so people automatically tune him out. You know the number of people that are listening to the show every single morning, and as that boy comes on, you know what they say to me? I go and do something else. Tell me when Alejandro's finished. And we still allow him to come on the program and still allow him to have some say. But he is just taking it too far. And the boy is well aware of what the rule was. But he's going to test it to see if I'm actually going to stand by what I say.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, I'm a person that stands by what I say. So there you go. It is what it is.
I know, and I mean, you're sure, yeah. I mean, I agree with that part of it. But I mean, the point is that he was saying, if I could elaborate on what he was trying to say, because a man is a Rastafarian, and he usually got the rights from coming from another country where that substance is legal. Does he have the right? No, absolutely not, to come into Cayman.
He could have given any examples in the world, but he chose. Yeah, he could have.
I know, because
he could have talked about anything. There's lots of things that are not legal that people like. I can chew gum in this country. I can't go to Singapore and chew gum and throw it on the ground because I'll get incarcerated for that. There's a million examples that you could give about how in some countries something is legal and in other countries it's not. In the United States of America, there was a time when
it could be a view of a double standard for certain people.
Listen,
but then
the whole conversation is about double standards, and we understand the context, and we're talking about it in the context of weapons in this jurisdiction compared to, yes, we understand. But like somebody said, even the point is in other countries, even in the United States of America, there are certain rules with weapons as well. You can't just be walking around with a weapon willy-nilly. I mean, you got to have a permit. You got to do certain things to have a permit. There are rules in place in other places as well, even when it comes to weaponry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what was really calling about the subject that you were talking about, those the voting public just now, about we the voting public, is that maybe we will never get a change until we get the business owners under control rather than the politicians, because most of the business owners control the politicians. They're the lobbyists. So and if the public is working for those business owners, and they don't vote the way that some of these business owners intimidate them to vote and tell them to vote, because that's still going on. People actually in their companies say, you got to vote for this person. If you don't vote for this person, you're fired. And people are afraid of getting blacklisted and all that, so their jobs are threatened. And then they tend to vote for whoever that company that they're working for tells them to vote. So that's it. And 90% of the voting populace is under control by their employers. So that's the kind of thing. So if the people get self-reliant and become self-employed to an extent that they're not gonna be even vulnerable to their employers, then maybe they could make a better decision to vote. Because people rightfully know sometimes when they vote, well, this isn't the right person that I want to vote for because of this and this and this, but they just vote because they're intimidated into voting for whatever reason, for fear of job or being blacklisted or whatever. So all that kind of thing is still on. So we got to try to overcome that and go beyond. So I got doubts about the 2025 election. Tell you the truth, I'll just hold my breath and see what can happen then. But don't be surprised if the same BS happen again and the same status quo continues, because it trust me, it's been a long time I've been on this earth, or it could be a short time, but I've never been impressed by the voters, the politicians, the outcome of either election here, and the politicians just keep on doing the same thing in favor of big businesses, So that's all I have.
We'll keep an eye on it. Thank you so much, caller. Really appreciate it. 936-2626 is telephone number. Lots of people weighing in on this one. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Morning, son. I didn't mean call back like this, but the caller that was on a while ago talking about the election thing, right? I don't want him to make the people believe something that's not true.
Okay.
Because as far as I understand, when I go into the ballot, only me and God go in there.
That's true.
Nobody can know who I vote for unless I tell them. Am I correct or am I not correct?
That's true.
So you need to correct these people because they scare other people like myself. Because for a second I thought that maybe somebody could really bully me to vote for who they want me to vote for, which is not so. I can tell them, say, I'm voting for George Bush.
For sure.
And I vote for Obama, and nobody would ever know. So I want the public to understand this is a secret ballot. Nobody knows who you vote for. So nobody can bully you. Government, business, or anybody can bully you to vote for who you want to vote for. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is true. And I think that to the caller's point, we need to have some general education around, voting and all these sort of civic related things, because people can't, don't be intimidated. But I think what the caller, maybe the point he was really trying to make is there is a level of intimidation, even as it relates to what you can say and what you can't say, when it comes to like vocalizing your opinion. Just the other day, you guys saw that, I don't know if you saw this, but Google actually fired some staff for being vocal about the fact that they have contracts with the Israeli government. Google said this is not politics. This company is not the arena for you to be expressing your political views. Go out there and do that on your own time. But in the workplace, if you do it, you're going to get fired. And I was like, wow. In America, where freedom of speech is the biggest thing in the world, Google said, not in our company. We have our rules. So take it somewhere else. The poll is up. Since y'all want to put everything to vote, why not? The poll question, should Alejandro get block Alejandro for breaking the rules? He broke the rule, to be very, very clear now. Don't confuse it. He did break the rule. There is the poll questions. There's the link. Let me put it up. You guys are free to vote. And rest assured that it's not going to make any difference what the vote results are, but we put it to vote because we would like to hear what you think, one way or the other. So Soka says, too much ganja talk. G's and peace. He's obsessed. CW White says, I totally agree. Please block him. We're all tired of him. Richard says, tell them that you are a Leo, and to make it worse, you're on the 18th of August like myself. No joke. Aliana says, man, it's rough. Miss Darlene says it's called freedom of speech. Even freedom of speech has some limitations. I know we don't like to think of it in that way, but believe me when I tell you, freedom of speech has a lot of limitations. Trust me. Good morning, caller.
You just mentioned what I said.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just think, Sandy, that it's like I would never, just like we talk about our kids, you want your children to be as vocal as if he's not on there swearing or whatever. Everybody's entitled. The thing with Cayman on a general is that we do not like people to press. Now, when I say that, everybody is entitled to say what they. He's not out. He's not hurting nobody physically. Where I see it, we need to learn to tolerate more. You know, somebody pop up in this comments and everybody block him. That's not how living in a democracy world it should be, or whatever. And we have to learn to tolerate. You keep mentioning the children. Yes, we tolerate our kids. We tolerate them.
There's a limit when you set rules in place, caller.
Yes,
you don't tolerate everything from children.
No, but what I'm saying, Alejandro is coming out of his own, in his own words, his space, and I think that we should be respectful. We should be respectful.
I don't think I've ever disrespected him, but that doesn't mean that he's going to get to do whatever he wants.
I don't mean you, but you can see in some of the comments, and I mean they can say what they want to say about him, about me, or whatever the case is. But I'm just saying we need to be more tolerant. If you listen to some of the shows, big shows all over the world, you don't have people saying, "Oh, get him off the disc." No, because it's it's freedom. It's his way of expressing, and I think he speaks for a lot of people. Not me personally, maybe not you, maybe some of the rest there, but I mean, I don't think I don't believe it's fair. Anyway,
okay.
I'll vote.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
Rough C says he doesn't mind the discussion. Dean says, what's the big deal? Let Alejandro speak. Garrett says, as a Caymanian, when I traveled to Canada, USA, UK, Germany, Italy, France, Philippines, etc., I have to follow their laws. The Caymanian law doesn't follow me where I go. Aliano says, Denny isn't wrong. The Caymanian law only is applicable when I'm in the Cayman Islands, says Gareth. Michael says, you could be talking about dogs, and this fool will bring up marijuana in the conversation. John LaRue says, for once, I agree with Denny. Free speech needed. Siobhan says, laughing out loud. But Sandy has the means to do as it is her show, and it sucks, but so it goes, says Aliano. Gabby says it's her platform, it's her business. If y'all don't like how she runs things, then don't listen. I'm sick of hearing about damn weed. Go live in Canada, or wherever it is legal. Magnum Opus says, well, CMR is a private entity and can block whomever it wants and choose the direction of the show. Vicky says, do not block him. So far, the votes is 57% to yes block, 43% no, 58% yes. Keep on voting. Denny, Ms. Ann says, Denny, you need to shut your mouth. Oh, gosh. Block him, says Roberto. Oh, I think I forgot to show you guys the code to hold on. There. You can scan the barcode, and I put the link in the comment section. Vicky says that's conversation. I mean, every single conversation, Vicky, like really? Aliana says, oh, give him the 3-strike law. 3-strike law don't apply here, honey child. And in fact, I want to be very clear. He had done it before, and I didn't block him. Since the rule was put in place, he did it, and I didn't block him. I didn't even say anything about it. But when people keep pressing you, it seems like they want you to apply the law because they think that you're not going to do it. Well, Honey, chill. Let's not press me. I don't agree, says Miss Olive. He has a right to his opinion. Siobhan says, hell, even I tried warning him a few times and he wouldn't listen to me either. So if you can't hear, you feel. Miss Mona says, just have him blocked for 2 days. I like him. He's different. YouTuber says, thank you. Caller, block in general, all platforms. What the hot mess. Richard says, your show, your rules. Miss Anna is just laughing. She laughed out loud. It speaks to his level of intelligence, says YouTuber 345. Hold on 1 second, honey, chill. Let me see here now. Go ahead and vote, honey, child. Okay. Okay. Anne says this is true. Richard says, Sandy, do what you have to do. Set the precedents. Rough C says, let's have a poll. Should marijuana be decriminalized? Oh my God. Seriously? Rough C's, you're going to be next. You will be next. Soka, good morning. YouTuber 345, he's one that you can't give an inch. Total abuse. Sorry, he needs to go. Richard says, Sandy, like myself, who's in love with you. Sandy, like myself, who is in love with you. Okay. YouTuber says he can go live in his own YouTube channel, Instagram. Yeah, he can talk about it all he wants over there. One at a time. Stop talking over the other people, says Siobhan. YouTuber says Alejandro doesn't have any other content. He's very limited. We need to accept that. Duke says Danny is correct in terms of the gentleman to explore and express his point. What is the rules of the show? Well, the rule of the show, because he was talking about it every single time he calls in, which is practically every single day, Duke, we set the rule week before last, and we've had to do it last year. And it was by popular demand where our viewers were saying, please, Sandy, bring that rule back. I am so sick and tired of it. Hold on. Let me see if I can do. Why is my by the way, Kevin, I do need to ask you a question about your overlay. Seems to be like my default now. I don't know why that is. So it's like on top of other stuff. This is so weird. How is that happening? Okay. Kevin, I'm gonna have to delete that overlay, but I'm curious as to how you created it. We'll talk after the show. Edit overlay. How do I delete it, by the way? I don't know how to delete it. Edit overlay. No. This is very bizarre. Kevin, I might need your help with something here, because I want to do my regular overlay where I can be here and have the poll over to the side, but it keeps picking up on your other overlay. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now it's there. That's interesting. I'm curious about that particular overlay. Anyway, so yes, Duke, it was requested by the majority of people, and we brought it back in, and here we are again. Shaka Zulu says, while I understand Denny's point, I think he's failing to understand that this is not a government-sanctioned talk show, and the owner of this program is free to regulate at will. Listen, we're regulated too. To be very, very clear, we are regulated by other people. And so there's certain things that I would love to be able to do on this show that I cannot do, because there's no such thing as unfeathered freedom of speech. Freedom of speech always has rules surrounding it. Test it and see if you don't end up in court. Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Good morning, Danny.
I don't fail to understand that you're a private entity and that you're free to block him if you want. I don't fail to understand that. But what your listeners are failing to understand is that you're taking a position against one of your listeners that you don't want the government to take against you. Okay? Now, I get that you can do that if you want to. There's no ambiguity in my mind about that.
Let me understand.
Those who might think I don't understand.
Let me clarify let me understand what it is that you're saying when you say the government, right? The government doesn't want me to be here, so that I don't know that's the issue. You're saying that you believe that the government can block me.
You believe in free speech, right?
With reservations, yes. Like anything else, yes.
Okay, yes. And so
we already know that the government doesn't want this show, and what are they going to do about it?
And you think that the reservations that you should have should exceed that which is constitutionally protected as political speech.
You see this conversation about ganja as political speech?
Yes, it is. He's talking about whether a law should say this is illegal or it's legal.
And you think every single day we need to have that conversation no matter what it is that we're talking about?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is we're trampling on our rights here.
And when we say that these are the rules, we're no longer going to have this discussion, just like we had to do it last year to get a break from the constant barraging of daily marijuana discussions. We had to do it before. When we put that rule in place and somebody deliberately breaks the rule and multiple times since you put it in place, that's okay to let them get away with it.
And then when the government decides it's had enough of CMR and it puts CMR out of business,
and
we will pick up this conversation, and public, your listeners who are intolerant of other people's opinions today will begin to understand how.
But what you have to understand, Denny, what you have to understand is that people have options, right? I don't know how you think the government is going to stop me, because even if the government went to Don Seymour and said, take Sandy off of Bobo, there are other options for me to reach the people. That's not my only option. You understand?
Yes.
He has other options. Maybe no one has an issue with him going on Radio Cayman and talking about it every single day. That's a government station. He can go there. He can go and have his own show and talk about it every single day. I'm not curtailing his general freedom of speech. I'm saying on this platform, we have a rule at the moment, and that's it. Like Natasha says, make him set up his own blog about marijuana, and he can talk about that all day. YouTuber says we have tolerated him.
Okay, so YouTuber thinks that we should subscribe to the idea of
we have tolerated him.
Yes, but what YouTuber is implying in his statement is that being tolerant of someone's opinion is for a short period of time, and that's it.
You think a couple years is a short period of time of hearing about marijuana almost every single day? Like, really?
When the government decides that it has heard enough of CMR, then your listeners will begin to understand that I am not talking about marijuana. I am talking about rights and freedom of expression. The reason you want to hear what other people have to say is so that you can understand, and hopefully you can come to some sort of resolution about what it is that's being discussed. All blocking people does is push it out of the general discourse, but that doesn't mean the issue's gone away. And this is not a conversation that I want to be having, because quite frankly, I thought that in 2008, when the Constitution was amended to give us better protections for our freedom of expression, that people would value those things more.
Every freedom has limitations.
So when the government says, all right, so let me see if I could come up with something that's equivalent to what Alejandro, let's say the government puts a limit on how much times you can complain about the government. Then they're not saying that you can't complain, they're just saying you can't complain about them as much as you want to. Do you think that would be okay?
If it was on their show, so if I was calling into Radio Cayman and they said that, then that would be their business. They can control their own platforms. The government does not control Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and all these other things.
No, the government, ironically, Radio Cayman is a government program.
Yeah.
Right? And therefore, those constitutional provisions apply to Radio Cayman, whereas they do not apply to your radio station. But I was hoping that you would subscribe to those principles and say to yourself that even though I can do this, that you would say, how about we, instead of just letting the conversation go on every day about, trickle, how about you bring people onto your program where we have all sides, have a comprehensive discussion about the issue so that we could see if we could actually move the needle one way or the other. I think the purpose of conversation is just try to arrive at a conclusion. So why attack the conversation? Why not just say, let's have a comprehensive discussion where people outline all of the pros and cons of the issue, and see what happens then. Maybe that might satisfy him more than, you hear that there might be a referendum, but you're not sort of hearing whether it'll actually happen or not. So everything is in limbo.
Okay.
Just typical. Anyhow.
All right.
I just think we need to be careful not to be trampling on rights.
All righty.
Because it'll backfire on us.
All right. Natasha says he's entitled to free speech and expression, and he can do so by creating his own platform. Siobhan says, so Mr. Denny, you're okay with Alejandro talking about that subject every single day?
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
I'm just reading the comments, Denny.
I know. But I'm responding to that ignorance. I just said that how I think we should approach. This is not limited to this issue. How we should approach serious issues is, let's get all sides on the show. Let's have a comprehensive discussion about things so that we can decide how to handle it, so that we're not needing to have the conversation every day because, well, nothing is happening. Government is famous for doing nothing. And I all right. You see, we're attacking the wrong thing. That's like if we were talking about bank robberies and all of a sudden we say, well, we shouldn't have roads because if they didn't have roads, they wouldn't be able to drive there and they wouldn't be able to get away. It's foolishness. We should be talking about the core issue. And I think your program provides an awesome opportunity for all sides to come together in one program. This idea of one side coming on now and then next week the other side coming on, that's not a way to have a conversation. I'd rather have it that way than not have it at all. But ideally, I would rather that you have opposing sides come on so we can have a proper discussion. Anyhow, take care.
All righty. Irvelin is saying, has anyone taken into consideration the effect it might have on his mental health? Oh, Lord, this is a sticky situation. He has at least 3 other shows, Irvelin, that he can call into. If your mental health is impacted by your ability to call into this show, you do have an addictive personality and you should probably get some professional help. I'm just saying. 9362626. Good morning, caller. Hello? Hi, caller? Uh-oh, can't hear you. Hello, caller? Sorry, I can't hear you. I know you're there, I just can't hear you. It's like me going to court and deciding I'm not going to follow the court rules as it relates to my dress code. They have a dress code. Everybody has rules. Well, not everybody. Some of y'all don't have no rules and it's a free for all. But, you know, there are rules here. Venetia says Sandra has been very lenient with him, to be honest. She's allowed him to make his point over and over. I think it's time to take his plight directly to the decision makers. I need his number. Whose number do you want? And you want Denny's number? Good morning, caller.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I just would like to say, you know, that for me, I have learned a lot, you know, of just general what's going on, not just in Cayman, but elsewhere. And I'm saying if any one thing can consume your whole mindset, your whole life, then something is wrong. Because everything starts with number one. A cigarette habit started with one. An alcoholic started with one. Everything that you become addicted to starts with one. And I'm saying we cannot be in a place of selfishness. If a person feels that they're benefiting from something, don't try to reinforce it to benefit anybody else. We're made different. And I'm saying that if you can't say no to something, you're a slave to that thing. That thing is your master. And if you feel you must have something or you need to have something, you're addicted to that something.
Yeah. And to be honest, if you find that you're thinking about something all the time, where it consumes even 80% of your time, I think that means that there's some sort of an addiction there. There is no single topic. Listen to me. As much as I want to protect children, and I talk about that fairly often, that does not consume my every single thought. It would be impossible. So I don't understand how people can have, like, every time there's a talk show discussion, the only examples that they can come up with is something related to marijuana. To me, that's like something is wrong with you. That cannot be the case.
Like I'm saying, you know, if you look good at it, it can be rooted in selfishness, not because you feel, and we can be deceived. A plant benefits you, your life. Why are you saying that others need to be in that same place that you are in? It has proven to be destructive to many others.
And the bigger thing here is the rule was set, right? This is the point. The rule was set. He has tested the boundaries since the rule was set, and I was ignoring it, right? Soft warnings. Even what's her name? Siobhan said she was even saying to him, and I could see the conversations between them, which I was ignoring, you need to stop it, right? Sometimes people are purposely trying to push your buttons and test you to see if you're going to do what you say you're going to do. Well, if there's any doubt that I'm a person that does what I say I'm going to do, let the record reflect today as the perfect example. There should be no doubt. There should be no doubt. And it's also disrespectful. And people are also missing that point because he's well aware of what the rules are. And so he is trying to disrespect me by talking about it anyway. Who cares what Sandy says? Who cares what Sandy's rules are? But the point is, this is my show. And even more importantly, I'm actually paying the airtime for this show. And I try to give people a lot of leeway and a lot of opportunity to express themselves and to have an opinion. But there are limitations.
Yeah. But as I say, at the end of the day, you know, there are also facts out there, and true facts, that one thing led to another. A split led to something else to something else. Okay, alcohol will lead you from alcohol to something else to something else. If you have chosen that way, then let it be for you. Don't go and swim every sea and climb every mountain, you know, to reinforce that for others' life. It's a choice we make. And I hope to God that he will find some other reinforcement for his life other than a plant. You know, and you know, thank you.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much. 936-2626. Vote in the poll. Poll numbers are coming in. This person says people always go to the if. Hold on. Let me hold on. Let me just grab this. We can read this one online. Okay. One second here. Okie dokie. What a hot mess. Okie dokie, Smokey. All righty. Here we go. Oops, let me take off this comment so we can see it. All right, people always go to the if that were Caymanian statement when the guy that shot up Archie got off. Big Matt Caymanian, nothing sticks to him. How many Caymanians we got northward for ammo possession only, I think that was me. Simple fact, in another country, you follow that country's law or pay the price. Father of the Year has ammo accessible to his kids. Just like the dumb title girl that jumped quarantine, I think I meant entitled girl, that jumped quarantine to go to jet ski race. Play a stupid game, win a stupid prize. 1 year in prison. That might apply for PR when paroled. Oh, they might apply for PR when paroled. There are rules to carrying weapons in the US too. People must have CCP for handguns, not in open carry, against the law to stop going to or from the range if in possession of an assault rifle. Okay. John says, we've expressed ourselves as you put up the poll, people voted. And I said, let's put up the poll, but I did not say, and in fact, I said the opposite, the poll is going to have zero impact on the outcome. I'm just curious as to what you guys think. So far, 60% says, no, don't block him. 40% say yes. You broke a rule. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that are really not up for debate. You broke a rule and there are consequences. Don says, well, it sounds like he's going to learn today. Denver says, but some of these conversations on air are not one-on-one, meaning both people are trying to speak at the same time, which is frustrating to me. What part of that conversation? I mean, I think callers, for the most part, are one-on-one. Sometimes we do a 3 or 4 way calling, but I think the comments we just read. So let me just see here. Gabby's saying to block everybody. She's like, block Rough Seas, block Denny, block that lady, caller, block. Oh my gosh, Gabby. My goodness. Good morning, caller.
Sorry to call back, Sandy. I just had an idea. How about this? I know you do open mic, but sometimes it don't end up as open mic, you know? Dedicate time. Like, say for instance, that day, anybody called about anything. Hello?
Yeah, sorry.
Hello?
I got the power wash outside my window.
Oh,
I don't think he
sorry,
realized. No,
sorry.
it's okay. I don't think he
Okay,
realizes that I'm on air.
I know it was hailing.
He's here doing it. I know. He's here doing his job, honey
oh
child.
my God, his son in the hail is coming. Okay. So I was thinking just with all of it, just an idea. If, for instance, then that just threw me off. Okay, so we'll
you were saying about open mic. Here's an idea.
Yes.
Go ahead, and then I'm going to tell you an idea I have.
And then I would think, okay, say, I know Kevin is usually around. Then you have a kind of bell in your ear. Give us 3 minutes, 5 the max. Get your stuff together. That's it. Whether it's 1 time calling, 2 time, but on that open mic, we can discuss anything as long as you keep it down to a minimum 3 or maximum 5 or whatever. Because this really bothers me that people cannot say what they want to say. And say for instance, something come up big, something huge come up within the next 24 hours or even the next week, and you have this ban on weed. The item, and we need to get it out there. That means that we are not able to say, hey, CMR, Sandy, this is what happened, and that particular thing is involved. So
that's not what this trust me, that's not how the rule is being applied. So it's not being applied in that way at all. So if we have a case that comes up and it's regarding marijuana possession, we're going to briefly talk about that case. That's fine. This is about people who are obsessed about it, where every conversation, like somebody said, we could be talking about dog poop, and all of a sudden the conversation is going to be to, let's talk about marijuana.
You know the funny thing about this, there's going to be a day, me and you may be gone, but there is going to be a day when all of this is going to pass away, and speaking about that item will be like speaking about a cigarette. I'm telling you. So,
and let me be very clear.
It's going to happen.
Miss Darlene, let me be very clear. Let me be very clear. It's not the discussion on that item. If he was calling every day speaking about alcohol, he would eventually get blocked as well. It is the obsession with a particular thing. If he had called in every day about, I want to talk about alcohol and this and we're not even talking about that, it would be the same rule. People, it's not about the marijuana. It's about the fact that you cannot have every conversation revolve around one thing in your mind. That don't make no sense. And I don't care what the topic is.
Like they say, it's your show, but I just think
I think that it's worth clarifying that point, because maybe some of y'all think, this is really about ganja. It's not about that.
Yeah,
anything that he was obsessing about 24/7. To the point where every time he comes on the show, there's a collective and universal sigh in the Cayman Islands. People are like, oh my God, again?
Yeah, because we are not used to that. Caymanians are not used to it.
No, we're not used to being
sensation. This is 2024.
It's not about the topic, it's about the obsession.
Okay.
That's the problem. So, I don't care what he's obsessed about. It's like you can't be that obsessed about any one thing and think about every single day people want to hear it. Good morning, caller.
Sunday I call back again, but
yes, sir.
I cannot get into the conversation. Because the people can't understand that if we didn't have rules and regulations in the world, where would the world be today?
Exactly. We all have to follow rules. I don't have unlimited freedom of speech.
And like I said before, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So we have to have rules and regulations. And this word that we throw around so easily, this freedom of speech and free rights and free this, we are not free in this world. We are only liberated because we have laws to follow.
Mm-hmm.
We have to understand this. We can't go to court in a jeans, in our shorts, and going to the beat in. Know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
We can't go to certain places. We can't do as we feel when we feel.
Yeah.
So we have to understand. Look, you said no. Okay, the ITPA say people say no profanity on the radio. Let them be profane and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean? The police say don't speed.
Mm-hmm.
You go 2 miles over the speed limit and see what happens. They are set in place for a reason. So you have your rules. That's your rules because that's your show. Do not sit down there defending yourself all day and not getting the Cayman news out there or what we need to really hear, because I sick of hearing about the same thing. I've been listening for the last, I'm sorry for opening that can of worms too, because I was only making a comparison. Know what I mean? But they took it in the wrong way. I wasn't speaking about that taboo. I was just showing you a comparison of what happens here, but they took it, or Alejandro took it out of context, know what I mean? Which I understand, which he has to understand that what he did was wrong. Every action has an equal reaction. And you told him, you told everybody, not him, everybody, if we talk about this subject I talked about, we will be banned from the station for a while or inevitably. But at the same time, as you say, he was testing you, you know what I mean? And me, you don't see eye to eye, and I can tell you straight, but you don't defend yourself when you're right. Just carry on. Carry on. The people listen to hear more than this Alejandro being banned. Know what I mean? Because the country, yes, I understand what Dan is saying about contributions and stuff, but there is no such thing as freedom of speech. You're liberated to talk what they want you to say. And that is it. Know what I mean? So you carry on with what you're doing, son. You're doing a good job. It's a reason why you have a #1 station, know what I mean? Although I said that me don't agree on everything, it's a reason why you have the ear of the people. So you keep on doing a good job. That's all you're going to do.
Dear.
Don't justify yourself too much about it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes.
Sorry. And I also I just came home healthy, then I got my health package. I didn't expect to get a bag and all that. But
yeah, nice. So you're gonna schedule and get that done?
I was very surprised. A beautiful bag and a cup and a card and all kind of stuff. Thank you very much for that.
All right, very good, very good. Okay, thank you, my dear. 9362626. He was a winner. Make sure y'all tune back in on Tuesday because there will be more winners. To get your executive health check. Absolutely love it. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. This is Carrie from the BRAC. How are you?
Hey, Carrie. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm listening, and I just wanted to add something to your show with respect to when it comes to rules and regulations. In the BRAC especially, I see a lot of circumventing, and I see a lot of breaches of the liquor licenses at several establishments. Not all are doing this, but some are. They're allowing underage kids to sit at the bar because they're tourists or they're, the returning 6-month residents that come back for 6 months at a time and bring their kids or grandkids. And these underage children are being seated at the bar. And the owners of these establishments are not even addressing that with the patrons. They're not even saying to them, I'm sorry, the child or you and the children will have to sit in the eating area, which is not at the bar of this location. And they don't do that. And when you address it with any of the employees there, they're telling you, they're with their parents, so we'll tell them next time they come. So they're basically aiding and abetting in the extension of the disrespect of that actual license. Because we all know that your liquor license come with a lot of stipulations attached to it and regulations that you must comply with. And I see a lot of that not happening up here. On Good Friday, alcohol was being served out of an establishment on Good Friday.
Wow.
So, after speaking with the current liquor licensing board chairman in Grand, he made me aware, Mr. Williams, which I'm grateful for him for that. He made me aware that the Kemenbrock Liquor Licensing Board and his board in Grand, they're not interrelated, meaning the BRAC is independent of him. And that is very disturbing, because if I can see this and other people call and tell me, Carrie, they're serving alcohol Good Friday at this establishment, and I go, and yes, it is so. If I see that, then I'm sure people know that, to report this to the members of the boards. And what can they do? They don't have any enforcement arms attached to these boards to say, hey, so-and-so is serving alcohol. Can you send an enforcement officer out there right now, X, Y, and Z, and deal with this? No, it's not happening. It's too lackadaisical in the BRAC. The laws are too relaxed over here. I know a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're understaffed with police, and that plays a very integral role in not getting things dealt with as well. But I don't think the police should be the one to go and deal with establishments that are serving liquor outside of the terms and conditions of their license. I think that should be an enforcement arm of the liquor licensing board, separate from the police, that actually have officers enforced with, the authority to arrest, issue charges or whatever against the establishment and the owners of that hold the license. That's what I think they should do. And I think that the two boards should merge. We should have just one board that covers the 3 Cayman Islands. And they can have members of the board for BRAC and as well. Not a problem. They can hold Zoom meetings if they need to. They don't all have to get on a flight and go to Grand to have a meeting.
I didn't realize that they were separated like that. I mean, I knew, though, that they had an arm of DCI there, but I always thought that arm of DCI fell under DCI here, and liquor licensing falls under that. So I'm surprised to hear that they're completely separate.
The liquor licensing board is separate from the Grand Cayman Liquor Licensing Board. And Mr. Williams confirmed that to me. And he even said to me at times he's reached out to the BRAC board to offer his assistance to them if they need any assistance with policy enforcing and stuff like that. And, you know, they've not really been very accepting to his assistance. So that's why I think it needs to be merged immediately now. We need one liquor licensing board. We don't need two. We need one. And we need to have it properly staffed with enforcement officers. That creates more jobs for Caymanians. We don't need to bring nobody in to do that work. There's a lot of ex-police, or I should say retired police officers that we could hire as the enforcement arm of that. They're already trained in the laws of the Cayman Islands and under the police. So they're familiar, just a matter of retraining them or adding this additional policy training for them and utilize those people. They could do with the extra money because we all know that the government broke when it comes to getting your pension paid, and most people aren't getting that too. So anyway, I just wanted to raise that because the BRAC Liquor Licensing Board is not being very, very active when it comes to seeing these things occurring and not addressing them. So that's why I'm raising it today. I raised it on my page in a video, and I thank you for the time that you gave me to raise it here too. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, dear. All right, folks, 936-2626. Some very interesting comments there. I can certainly inquire a bit more about that. Bit unusual. Let's read some more comments. Sandy, I'm sick and tired of this smokehead Alejandro. Do we have to take his foolishness? Can't take him anymore. Enough is enough. Every single day, it's the same thing. And people defending him is because they're also weed heads. Oh my gosh. It was pretty obvious that he was high during the call. The nerves yelling and going off like that. Of course, to be clear, I don't think that other people defending him are weed heads. I don't think that that's what's going on here at all. What I think is happening is they don't understand the frustrations of having to have this conversation. All the time that we've wasted this morning, even on this, has been very, very unfortunate. Because we have way more important things that we could be talking about. Believe me, you. What a hot mess. No son. Okay. This person says, and it's one more day of Alejandro not making any sense in the point he's trying to make. Phone drops the signal. In all fairness, what Denny said is absolutely correct, but a hard pill to swallow. It is like, you do not agree with what you have to say, but I will fight for your right to say it. However, I still don't want to hear Alejandro anymore. I guess we can't have it both ways. Kiss my teeth. I keep tolerating my whole life. I do not have to tolerate anything I choose not to. Safe to say Alejandro finally got his own show today. He's the entire subject. Let's move on. Okay. Let me see. We have some other comments. And to be very, very clear, I want to encourage everyone, listen to me carefully. You all have an amazing opportunity to go out there and get your own show. And I highly, 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 highly recommend it. Go talk with the good folks over at Bobo. I'm not trying to listen. I don't get any sales kicks back. I don't work for Bobo. That's not what this is. But if you have something, in fact, you don't even have to go to Bobo, right? Because Bobo, there is a charge for you to go. Folks, you can go to Instagram, set up your own page on Instagram. Weed heads for everybody or whatever. Facebook. Those things are free. You have ways to get your messaging out there. Nobody's curtailing his freedom of speech. What has happened today on this program, he didn't follow the rules and his wings got clipped. That's all that is. He still has all the freedom of speech in the world. He can go on Radio Cayman, both morning and afternoon segments. He can go on social media and share videos on WhatsApp. He has a wide audience. He can just reach thousands of you if he wishes to do so. Shaka Zulu says you need to examine to Denny what particular the government can do to CMR in its various platforms. And let me also be very, very clear, because I think Denny makes some interesting points. Now, we fall into this space of media, and there is a difference, right? Government shouldn't be trying to silence its citizens or the media. But when you see government trying to silence the media, that is a very different situation even than when you think, well, maybe are they just trying to silence an individual? Because they know, as well as everybody else in the community, that indeed media has a very wide reach of reaching potentially thousands of people, both locally and abroad. So when you talk about media freedoms and individual freedoms of right, even the law has accepted that they are slightly different, and there's slightly different rules of engagement as well. I don't get to say any and everything that I want on this show, especially because off-reg has some regulations in place up until 10:30. After 10:30, I have more freedoms on Facebook. Thank you, Facebook, and Instagram. However, this thing's zooming in again. Lord Jesus. It's a good thing, man. I got no blemishes. Lord, zoom back out. Zoom back out. However, to be very, very clear, there are restrictions even on those platforms as well. How many of you have not been blocked on Facebook for calling somebody an idiot? And you're like, what's the problem with that? Because somebody goes and reports your specific comment and you get blocked for that. There are limitations. Shaka Zulu says you may, to Denny, you might be correct with your assertion, but this is still a private entity. The government is limited as to what they can do to this particular private entity. Lucky Body says he needs to be blocked. He has been given many warnings and people have been blocked for less. YouTuber says if he spoke about the support of molesting children, we would still encourage free speech. I think again, I don't want y'all to get obsessed with what it is. It's the obsession of it that is too much. Soka says it's called Sandra's show. That's what it's called. It's actually called the Cool 100. It's called Sandra asking him repeatedly to drop the ganja talk. So if someone was talking about same-sex love daily, I bet the bunch of you would scream, block them. That's freedom of speech also. Gabby says block rough seas too. Gabby also says just like the others have rules, she has boundaries as well. Respect her, man. Come on, man. Y'all need to hop off her case. If y'all don't like how she runs things, don't listen. I mean, I try to give y'all a lot of liberty, but God knows there is a limit. There really is a limit. Lisa says block him. He broke the rules. We love him. He makes some good points sometimes, but we all have to follow the rules. Anthony says you speak to the employees. Do they even speak English in the BRAC? When I was there for the show, very few people spoke English. That wouldn't happen in Cayman. What a hot mess. Good morning, Paul. Paul says I'm late for class this morning. What did I miss? You missed a lot, Paul. Go back and re-listen. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning, dear.
I could try not to be like Alejandro is whatever his name is. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. But I must say, many, many, many years ago, you wouldn't have known because you're still too young. Mm-hmm. But anyway, when Ganja started to first come into this island, do you know that some people were sent to prison in Jamaica? Okay? Both of them are two ladies, and they weren't the runner of ganja. But that's when we had rules. They were using it themselves, and they got sent to Jamaica because they got caught. And both of them, God rest their souls, are dead now. Mm-hmm. But little by little, we stop dropping all of these things. Mind you, the laws are there, but they're not enforced. And I don't know who else in West Bay would remember these things, but I do, and thank God he left me with a good memory. But it is still a lot of ganja smokers here in West Bay, and even selling it. And it seems like our police are ignoring that fact that it is going on, because if I smell it in some of the places that I go, now don't tell me, well, they can't smell it because they got the windows screwed up when they screwed up tight on the police cars, that they can't see it or smell it when they're rolling their big spliffs and all of that. But I'm not going to say any more about this, but we need to bring back some sort of law where we don't have to feed them in prison, and they get fed very well, as we all know. But to let them work on the roads and in a prisoner and stuff, because it is carried on in other countries with security guards and police and whatnot. We can do it. It's a small island with hundreds of police and probably hundreds of security at the prison and stuff like that. We can do it. We just got to bring it back. And I'm going to leave you because I know you probably got other callers and the time can soon be up. But I could tell you a whole lot more. But good morning to you, and keep up the good work, Sandy. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. This person says Shaka Zulu is my favorite classmate now. You got expelled from class and you don't like it. Well, sometimes it's a suspension and sometimes it's an expulsion. I saw somebody said, just block him for a week and then unblock him. Well, folks, again, I need y'all to pay attention because I did say what I did. And we'll have to go back and pull it up. But I was very, very clear when I said that's him calling, honey child. We're not going to take your phone call either, Alejandro. I'm sorry. When we say block, we do mean that you're going to be blocked completely. So sorry, Bobo. But at the end of the day, you will understand that what I said, I was very, very clear in what I said. I said it would be a permanent block. I'm not one of those parents or one of those teachers that's going to tell you one thing and let it slide and do something else. I tried to be very, very careful with my choice of words. I didn't say you're going to be blocked for a week or until my feelings change or until this happens or that happens. I said what I said. And y'all should have paid attention. Okay. So it's a tough lesson for everybody here today, but I'm hoping it has sunk in a little bit longer. Here's another listener to the program saying Alejandro's behavior explains why he's unable to get a job. You've spoken to him and given him so many warnings, yet he continues to push the issue. You can imagine his behavior in a workplace. Then they sent a little block emoji. So someone can tell Debbie, her daughter front look juicy, and that's okay because it's freedom of speech. Freedom of speech comes with responsibility. Who the hell's Debbie? That's just a random name. Or unless they meant to say Denny. I'm not sure. We have rules of engagement, and there are always rules. Soka, good morning. Soka says the following. Sparrow made up a song about the governor's wife at Galleon Beach and got blocked from the island. Lord have mercy. Strong Wilt says, what happened to Johan? He must be working, honey child. Somebody got to pay some bills around here. So maybe he's on a conference call. He does have a job, So I'm assuming that he's working. Folks, there are always rules. This world, this life, this country, and even this talk show isn't a free-for-all. Let it be known that Sandy actually believes in rules. You have got to follow rules in order to have an orderly society. That is how it works, right? We might not like all of the rules. And if you don't like all the rules, there is a way in which you can go about changing it. The way in which you change the rules isn't normally to break the rules. I mean, I'm just saying. That's not how it works. You can choose to do that, but there will be consequences. Siobhan says it is what it is. He should have respected your rule and have listened, and he wouldn't have gotten blocked. It's just that simple. Don't feel sorry for him. And we move on. Thank you so much for voting in the poll. Some very, very interesting poll numbers. It'll be up for a couple more days, so you can feel free to continue. The numbers are shifting ever so slightly. We'll see what the end result is with the poll, but the end result of the poll will have no bearing on my rule having been broken and now implemented. Somebody said put a filter over the word. I don't know how you filter it out on a phone call, honey child. You can't filter out on a phone call when people call you. I don't know with Facebook and YouTube if you can add a filter and what they do when you put a filter, but it is what it is. Tell them to take that and smoke it in their pipes, says Strong Wilt. What a hot mess. Rules are meant to be followed, and if you break them, honey child, you get what you get. You get what the duck get. Quack, quack. All right, next. We wasted too much time on that conversation today. Anyhow, I have some good news for y'all. You want to hear some good news? I can now confirm. Listen up, chillins. I can now confirm that the courts are looking at revising the sentencing guideline as it relates to tourists who come here with weapons. You see, people are listening. People are paying attention. The judiciary is thinking about it. Woo! Hallelujah. You tourists, you keep coming to Cayman, and you're going to find yourselves in a world of trouble. You're going to be going to jail. It's called Her Majesty's Palace, Northward or Fairbanks if you're a man or woman. Stop breaking our laws. All right? I don't care what you do in your country. When you come across on Cayman Airways, American Airlines, United, anywhere on the cruise ship, when you come into our jurisdictional borders, you must respect the people of the Cayman Islands. You must respect our laws, rules, and regulations. We don't allow any firearms that have not been properly approved and gone through the correct channels to just come in. You can't bring any weapons. You can't bring drugs. You don't need to come here if you're a child pedophile or child molester. You know, if you want to come and beat women up, don't do it in this jurisdiction. There are a lot of laws here that need to be followed. We would appreciate it if all of you would take the time to learn about our laws. I'm going to make a suggestion to our national airline, on not just our national airline, but CBC Border Control. Speak to these airlines about when these flights are coming in. I'm telling you, when we were on our way to Greece, we heard it on the intercom every other minute. It was so much so that my husband was like, wow, they keep repeating this message. Why have we never heard this going to the Cayman Islands? It is illegal to transport weapons into Greece. Check your bags. Do not make sure your bags has no ammunition, no this, no that. They've been warned. Okay? Don't do it. For your sake, don't do it. Because our prisons are not as bad, I suppose, as TCI, because y'all claim about the mosquitoes biting you up and you're outside, exposed to the elements. Our people might not be exposed to the elements. They got an indoor place to stay, air conditioning, all this kind of nice stuff. But it's still not a good thing to have to go to jail. All right, so get your act together and stop your foolishness. By the way, have a look at this. Y'all not gonna believe this. This couple has now raised, here it is now. They have now raised over $150,000. This is Americans for you. $154,902. They have raised this for what? A legal defense fund? Oh, child, only in America. Only in America. My God. 1.6 thousand people got time to be donating. Look at this Barbara woman. She donated $2,500. Go donate to some hungry people, please. When you go abroad and you break people's laws, you should not even be getting the benefit of no GoFundMe page. Poor things. Look at them. Raking in all this money now when you chose to break the law. My tweetums. I almost feel sorry for you, but I don't. Wow. Y'all got money to waste. Help bring the Watson family home. Here's behind us. They're right there in Turks and Caicos in jail. Mm-hmm. Yep. Y'all got money to waste. GoFundMe. Let me tell you what the current amount is. That's what it was earlier. It's now gone up to $159,556. Barbara gave $2,500. Blair gave $100. Y'all got money to waste. My God. So many causes out there that you could be contributing that kind of money to. Homeless children, homeless people, foster care, dogs and cats, agencies, and NPOs that need help. When you break the laws, now you can walk around with a bag of money. Well, they'll be fine. That'll be the money that can sustain them while daddy's in jail in TCI. Lock him up. All right, Soka, thank you. Mm-hmm. I think it's more to do with our neighbors being more strict on tourists who forget that they have ammunition or firearms compared to a soft touch approach. Respect our laws, our people, says Ms. Pat. They need to out all of the laws for visitors and guest workers online too. Oh yes. Yeah, a little travel advisory. They've issued it. Their own government has issued it. And they still haven't done it. Oh my gosh, our Capella giveaway. Yes. Geez, some peace. Thank you, Gabby. Let's give away some tickets. Hold on. Let me get the Instagram people back because they might want to call in too. All right. So we're going into a little bit overtime this morning, honey Jill. Mm-hmm. So Harvey Weinstein is going to remain in jail, by the way. Thank the Lord. That rapist ain't going nowhere. And of course, the state of New York might now have to think about this strategically because wasn't it the 16-year sentence that he got for the conviction in LA? So he's not going nowhere. The dude's going to die in jail. Let me be very, very honest. I mean, I'm not trying to put my goat mouth on him, but he's going to die in jail. So they have to now think about the public purse. And does it make any sense? Because he probably won't get out of jail for the California rape anyway. Does it make any sense to pursue him again for the New York one? Sometimes you have to do it on a matter of principle and to set a precedent. So get it right. That's on y'all. Soka says if they were Black Americans, they would say, keep them there. All right, folks. So I forgot to thank you, Gabby, for reminding me we have some tickets to give away. I think I can do at least 3 tickets for Capella. So, all right, let's do trivia. You're going to have to call in, though, because the problem with the trivia question is if we do it like based on comments, I see them in a different order than you guys, and then y'all be fighting about, no, I message first. So let's go ahead and do some trivia questions. So let me see now. First question, this is again, gives you some tickets to Capella. And you can certainly know now that this event, the music festival, is coming up this weekend on Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let me say this. All right. So there's a number of DJs that are performing at Capella, taking the stage. All you have to do is name one, and there's at least like 4 or 5, 6 DJs. There's a lot of DJs. Name one DJ that is performing at Capella Music Festival. 936-2626 is the telephone number. Ooh, honey child, that one was quick fire. Good morning, caller.
Hi, is it DJ Puffy?
Puffy. I don't see. Hold on. Let me do some reinforcement here. I don't see Puffy, but let me double check. Hold on. I gotta ask the organizers because that was the one that I didn't see. But let me just confirm. All right. Let me confirm, and can you WhatsApp me just to see if that's the correct answer?
Sure. No.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll double check. If you did win, then of course we'll give you a ticket. Good morning, caller.
DJ Dave Kelly.
Yes, Dave Kelly is definitely one of them. So congratulations. Hold on one second now. What I want you to do is I want you to WhatsApp this number with your email address because they're actually going to email you an e-ticket. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear. So I'm going to soon get confirmation on DJ Puffy. Oh yes, he is also performing. Okay, very good. So that first caller, you won as well. So we'll give you both. Yep. Okay. So we're gonna do another question. Caller, we have 2 winners based on that question, so that's fine. So DJ Puffy is indeed performing. So they have a full lineup here. They've got DJ. Hold on, let me just tell y'all. DJ Preston. They have Super C. They've got DJ Nico, DJ Craig One World. They've got DJ Doctor, the Doctor, and Dave Kelly, all DJing on the main stage. So let me see now. Our next question, caller, are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Outside of the DJs, they have a number of local performers, like local bands that will be performing. I need you to just name one of the local bands. Mm-hmm. Sounds like you're looking it up. Yeah, you got it. You got to know when you call. So name one of the local bands that's performing. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yeah, one of the local bands that's performing.
Regeneration Band.
Regeneration Band. Yes. You are a winner. So just WhatsApp me your email address and name, and we'll get you, they'll send you your e-ticket.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're most welcome. So again, folks, at the Festival Greens this weekend, the Capella Music Festival. So I think we can do one more ticket. So let me just see. They got a lot of DJs. DJ Yo-Yo is going to be there. DJ Cardiac, DJ Ryan. So lots and lots of performers. Hold on, honey child. Hold on. We need another question here. DJ Flex is gonna be there. It's gonna be a good little session. Y'all gonna be partying on Saturday. Even Chuck Taylor is in the house. Yes. He's gonna be bringing the old school classics straight up to Studio 54 from the stage. All right, let me see. Sound Revolution. All right, you guys can still get your tickets, by the way. Okay, let me just see now. I need one more question. DJ Natural. Okay. So, name the, okay, so we talked about some local acts, all right? Now we have some people who are being brought in. Who would you say, I mean, not you, but who is the headliner for the Capella Music Festival on Saturday? It's somebody they're bringing in. Who is that individual? Big name, especially in the Caribbean. 936-2626. Good morning, caller.
Hi.
Hi.
I think it would be Marley. Beeman Marley.
Yes. Congratulations. Ding, 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 ding. You're a winner. So just WhatsApp me on this number with your name and email address, and we will certainly have them send your ticket. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, my dear. Okay, very, very good. We will do some more giveaways tomorrow. I think we can still do 1 or 2 more tickets for tomorrow. So make sure you tune in to the show. We'll do it a little bit earlier so that the radio listeners can also listen to the program. But yes, Damien Jr., Gung Marley, and others are being brought in to perform. So it's going to be quite a good lineup. Good morning, caller. We have our winners for today. So tune back in tomorrow.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, my dear.
I'm gonna cry.
Aww.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. So CapellaMusicFestival.com. You can see the full slate of performers and DJs and everybody. Looks like it's going to be a banging good time. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. You got VIP tickets also, so make sure that you get that. So we've got Sound Bites dinner happening tonight. This is their scheduled events at Mykonos. And we have on Saturday, the big music festival. And then they're doing a brunch on Sunday at Aqua. Is it Agua or Aqua? What's the name of it? Agua. Brunch with bottomless bubbles at Agua for $125. And you can do all of these events. And Mykonos tonight, they're doing a Sound Bites dinner. 3-course meal and a welcome cocktail. Cool. Oh, and by the way, they actually have a charity. They're doing a raffle for a car as well. I bought one the other day. Oh, where did I put my ticket? Oh man, I better find it in case I win. But yes, they are doing a raffle for a car raffle as well. I can't even remember what the kind of car it is. Can't remember now, but some kind of car. All right. Good job, guys. Very, very good. Puffy's a headliner, says Risa. No cursing or you're blocked, says Lisa. No cursing before 10:30. If you curse after 10:30, I mean, I don't care. It is what it is. All right, honey child. Yeah, because I'll get blocked too if I curse before 10:30. Y'all know the rules. I have rules too that I have to follow. And trust me, to be very, very clear, I'm not offended by profanity. My aunt would probably be rolling in her grave if she heard me say this, but I'm really not. I think that people do express themselves in a different way. And some days I'm just like, I can't think of any other word than to explain what I really want to say. I'm not offended by it. I think there's like all things, there's a place and, and you have to do it. And, my daughter, I do not curse around my daughter. In fact, she told her dad the other day, because he said something, I can't remember what it was. He doesn't curse though, but he said something. And she's like, oh, Dad, I think that's a bad word. Because sometimes she's not sure. Like she thinks like you say, darn it. She's like, that's a bad word. So the funny thing is, she said, when mom's friends call and they say a bad word, she tells them, nope, don't say that. Gigi's in the car or something like that. So she actually pays attention. I'm telling you, these children pay attention to what you're saying and what you're doing, more importantly. And she's like, mom warns them, don't say that. And I'm like, that's right. Because sometimes, child, they be on speakerphone, they forget. I got a 7-year-old, they be like, what the fuck did you just say that this MP doing? I'm like, I'm not alone in the car. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Always assume, especially after school hours, I'm doing pickup, honey child. I do the school pickups. All right. Soka says cursing is good for your health. I think there actually has been evidence to find that is true. But this year I am trying to curse a little bit less. I don't know why, because I don't personally see anything wrong with it, but whatever. Sue says, yep, they copy everything. Even age 2 or 3. I know. Trust and believe. All right, folks, anything else we need to cover today? I think that's it. If you want one of the not trespassing signs, message me. We got our little dash here. Message me. I'll get you one. And also, if you want, I don't have a whole lot of these cables, but I can spare. Somebody message me saying where they could get one. I'll give you one. I can spare 1 or 2 of those. I always have them around because they are fantastic. They work really, really well. That's it. I think. Got to get to work now. Got stuff to do. Oh, shoot. Did I have a business meeting today? Hold on a second, honey child. I need to try and check my emails. I think somebody wanted to meet with me about some sales stuff. Oh, yes. How about 1 o'clock? That's today. Oh, yeah. So I got somewhere to be at 1 o'clock. This person wants to talk about some sales. And we got bills to pay. So, of course. Thank you, Lord. He self-destructed. When you have her in, let me know as soon as you answer the phone. Yes. And certain people, I'm not going to call them if I have her on the phone because I know they'd be blazing up the phone, honey child. So, yeah, normally you and I talk earlier in the day. Okay, good. That's it. Hallelujah. All right. Maria says, Danny, his name is Denny, is so right. Government could restrict what you can say on your show. Not really. They can't. They really can't. By the way, who was it that said, somebody made a good point here about the constitutional rights. Oh yes, Mello Fellow says Denny equating CMR as blocking Alejandro when with CIG blocking CMR is apples and oranges. The Bill of Rights, this is where y'all need to pay attention. The Bill of Rights apply to CIG, to citizens, relationships, etc. Vertical, not citizen to citizen, i.e. horizontal. And point taken, I think Denny must not have been thinking about it in a constitutional context because there's no, I don't have to sit down and be subjected to you just because you think I should have to be subjected to you. And I thank you, Mellow Fellow, for the legal distinction, because there is a legal distinction. I agree with Mellow Fellow is that it's not really apple to oranges. Maybe Denny was speaking more in like general terms, but legally there is no equation whatsoever. So yeah, that's not how it works. If you and I are having a conversation and I don't want to hear what you have to say, I don't have to listen to it. I mean, it's as simple as that. I have the right to not listen. You might think you have the right to say it, but I have a right to not listen. So your rights end where they intercede or overlap with my right. Isn't that interesting? Because then I can say, whoa, you've crossed over in my right now. I don't want to hear it. And I don't have to hear it if I don't want to hear it. So the freedom of speech versus the freedom to close my ears and walk away is everything. So I know y'all think the freedom of speech is limitless, but it really, really isn't. All right, it is what it is. Y'all will get over it or not, and life will carry on. Everything will be just fine. That's it. All right, tomorrow's Friday. Let's start making our list tomorrow of what we want in our MPs. Can we do that? Come have a think about it tonight. Come with your list. We're going to go help somebody find some criminals now. Somebody's just messaging me about criminals breaking into their restaurant. They said, please send it to Sandra Hill. We will find them for you. Yes, hallelujah. These criminals around the place. I'm so sick and tired of them. All right, Siobhan and everybody else, y'all have a blessed and beautiful day. We will see you all, God's willing, tomorrow morning. Peace out.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.